All Nation Sports. Let's go. As the room fill up, be sure smash that like button. Let a friend or a neighbor know where to go when they want to tune in to Cowboys Sports Talk and beyond. Thank those that's on the Facebook. Appreciate you. We're going to talk about what Mike McCarthy said, complementary ball, as well as his excitement to have Dak Prescott back. Cowboys are 4-2, heading into Week 7, third place in the division. It's too soon to tell, but I'm going to tell you, this team have not peaked yet. Got plenty of football left, 11 games to go. We'll do Q&A at the end of the episode. Y'all know how it goes. Be sure to hit that like button. Share this content. Let a friend or a neighbor know. Come on. Ain't no party like a cowboy party. Come on. Where my dogs at? Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Shout out to the HBOs, the SGs. On my soul. I appreciate you. On my soul, for real.
Why, this motherfucker don't miss. No, he's good. That motherfucker don't miss, man. He's good. In the heat of battle, he don't miss. In the heat of controversy, he don't miss.
Happy Friday to you and you and you. Come on. What's up, man? Appreciate everybody for tuning in. The name is Law Nation. Well, for those who don't know, we're heading into Week 7, right? The Cowboys are 4-2, not 2-4. The Cowboys got 11 more games to go. The Cowboys will be facing against the Detroit Lions, who need a rebound game themselves. They are 2 weeks fresh. They had a bye week last week, and the last game, if you guys turn on the TV or turn on the channel, you will see the Lions versus the Patriots. The final score was 29-0. They didn't put up a single score. But if you watch the tape, you can see that they are clearly was battled with injuries. They had a lot of slip-ups here and there. And the Cowboys, if you turn on the tape and you watch the past game, right, the Cowboys were undermanned. Not saying that, that was the reason why the Cowboys lost. They didn't play complimentary football. They put the defense in a uncompromisable situation. And the final score ended up being, 26 to, what was the final score? 17, something like that, So the Cowboys need to have a situation where they can rebound and get things going. If you paid attention to the Cards last night, they played the Saints, and they got a spark from a DeAndre Hopkins. They end up putting up 42 points. When you talk about leadership and you talk about ways that your team can develop and grow down the stretch, sometimes you need that person that can amplify things, right? That can get you over the hump. Yeah, 26-17. Appreciate you, Gina. You need that spark, that accelerant. And what the Cowboys are looking to do is to see if we can get healthier down the stretch. And now that's why we talk about, hey, Dak Prescott coming back. James Washington down the line coming through, right? So all of these things help this team. Even Terrell Basham, he's 20 days out now, or now 19 days out from returning, right? So And we heard stories of Damone Clark in that same program, trying to turn the corner, trying to get back. Because if you look at this defense and if you say if there's any holes on this defense, you can probably point at the linebacker and say, hey, we can get better at that. Right? We can improve on that aspect of it. Brandy, shout out to you. Says Lions are going to play hard. Right. We want them to play hard. We want them at their best. Right. We want them at their best. And we got 2 back-to-back games. Not saying that we got to oversee these teams or overlook these teams or underlook, however that saying is. Well, we can't sleep on them. And the 4-ladder, the 3-ladder, the 2-ladder networks will definitely hold our feet to the fire. And they hold our quarterback and our team to a higher standard. The 4-ladder network, the media, and some of the critics and the pundits, they will always hold the Cowboys to a higher standard, and especially Dak Prescott. I was listening to Speak for Yourself or First Speak or something like that. Joy Taylor? Yeah, that's her name. Joy Taylor. I'm about to say Jory Taylor, but Joy Taylor was saying that Jalen Hurts is playing phenomenal, and he's not getting the respect that he should, right? He's been improving in all of these categories, and he didn't have a bad game last game. Don't y'all know if Dak Prescott go 15 for 25 for 155 yards, that will be considered a trash game, right? That will be considered something that he can't bring to the table. Dak Prescott cannot do that. He cannot showcase 10 for 16 for 102 yards. I saw this morning on, I believe it was Get Up or one of those shows, they're saying that, hey, what are the expectations for Dak Prescott on his first game returning? They started off at 250. 250 yards or more. They didn't say, hey, 200 yards, 150 yards. No. So the expectations already 250 or more. 3 tubs, maybe 2. No less. No less. Let's tune in to 105.3 The Fan. Sean and RJ, they got a chance to talk to Mike McCarthy.
Sports station. Are you finally relieved that you are seeing the end of the road for Dak Prescott questions since he's playing Sunday?
Yeah, I wouldn't say relieved. I'm just excited for Dak. I mean, I think anytime, one of your players goes through the rehab process to return to play, I mean, you see these men in here every single day, just, doing whatever they can to get back. I mean, and, our medical staff does a tremendous job with that. So I'm just excited to see him return and get out there and compete.
How's the zip on the ball? Did it look any different than, training camp?
No, he throws a heavy ball, and I think he's, yesterday was the first padded practice, and frankly, it was more about the team periods, being around the action in the pocket, and just, those are the impulses that you can't really, implement or emulate in the rehab process. So those are the things he really needs. But he's throwing the ball. He's throwing the ball just fine.
Coach, how do you trust a player for the things that your medical staff can't quantify? Dak's soreness after throwing 40 or 50 balls, just in general, that there has to be a gray area where you actually trust the player. How tough can that be sometimes when you know that they always want to play?
Well, I just think once again, there's a lot of conversation, there's a lot of planning goes into what our players do every single day. So, and Dak's very regimented in his approach and everything he does. So I mean, it's we're well aware how much he's been throwing and the things that he's doing, away from the facility. So that's all part of the return to play process. And I don't, you may work as much as Dak, but no one works more than he does. So, and you just keep in tune with that. But the practice part of it is always the last hurdle. I mean, because those are the timing and just getting in sync with your perimeter players again, feeling the pass rush, making the protection adjustments, just doing all those things at full speed. And you just can't get enough of that because, go back to training camp. He had it the whole training camp and really was playing at an extremely high level. So we just want to try to do everything we can to get back to that.
No doubt. So he was going into details of how hard and how much Dak Prescott works. The sweat Dak Prescott, right? You see him in games, the brother just be sweating, falling off of his face. And of course, out there in practice, you see those things. You never want to be comfortable. I said this before. You always want to put a fire up under a quarterback. Never give him the comfortable bed. Always figure out ways to make it more difficult for said quarterback. Even in his thriving moments, you want to say, hey, man, that ain't nothing, man. I seen better, right? Had better. And that's always putting that edge under the quarterback. And we seen that before in the 90s, right? Jimmy Johnson never made it comfortable for Troy Aikman. If I can take back a few things that these past administrations did for this team, for the quarterback, is one thing I can tell you, that they kind of made it a little too comfortable for the starting quarterbacks. Nevertheless, Dak Prescott, now seeing how the media operates, how the organization operates, seeing what Cooper Rush was able to do, sitting back, watching, and saying, okay, all right, that's what they're saying. Let me show you what I can do. Let me bring what my talents are of to the table, right? So those are things that I kind of recognize. SG, thank you for the first super chat. Thank you for your support. He says, put Dak on a lie detector. Test him after practice. This is SG. Far as you got to give me some more details on that. Put him on a lie detector. Are you talking about far as his thumb, his injuries and things like that? Here's the crazy thing, too. Here's the craziest thing of it all. The Dallas Cowboys is not just immune to this, but all players dealing with some type of injury. This is almost midway into the season. Somebody dealing with a knick-knack or something. So that's just how it goes with the flow of games. So you had to give me some more details, SG, but I appreciate you for the super chat.
Mike McCarthy here on The Fan. So the big debate, which RJ and I are on the same page on for once. What type of offense, what type of football are the Cowboys going to play with Dak back? Complementary football, playing to your defense. I don't really understand, Coach, what all that really means. What does that mean to you? Well, playing to your defense and complementary football with Prescott's return.
Well, I think the biggest thing is, you're talking about an approach. Complementary football is an approach in the identification of situations in the game. As far as where you tilt the aggressiveness of your decisions, and that's just the whole. It doesn't matter who the quarterback or who's playing. It's just we came out of last season and we had extreme high production on offense, and I've done this in the past too. So when you're number one in the league on offense, you have to play with a level of openness, particularly in the drop back phase, as far as your attempts, and it's just the reality of this league. But it also can create more stress on your defense, because you get into more shootouts and things like that. So in the one area we needed to improve on both sides of the ball was in the run game. Running the football and run defense. So it's just really play into our training is frankly was what we want to do, because it keeps the games more balanced.
Before he go into details of that, that's more lip services. To improve on run game, you got to do run game, right? So in order to get, like, some people will sit back and say, hey, I want a six-pack. I want to work. I want to get this particular body frame. I want to be in shape. Well, you can talk about it all you want, right? And even if you do work out, when you get the six-pack, right, or you get the stomach muscles, for those who ain't aware of what I'm talking about, it's discipline that is involved, right? Diet, How are you eating? A lifestyle. Are you staying away from certain foods, right? Are you watching what you eat? So it's much more to those type of things. So when you saying that, hey, we needed to improve on running, well, the first step would be to do it, right? To create a philosophy and a plan to do such. The Cowboys only toted the ball, last year in the playoffs versus the 49ers. I think Ezekiel Elliott had only like 12 to 13 touches. Tony Pollard with 4. It's hard to improve on something when you have only this amount of attempts, right? The other game that we lost, the Bucks, the opening game, right? The running back averaged 5.5 yards per total or more, right? But the numbers of rushing attempts were not there, so it's hard to improve on something when you don't have the attempts, right? That's just how it goes. And I get what he's saying with complementary football, but in order for us to raise from this level to this level to get above at the top level, you got to have a scheme, a philosophy that match, not just lip service.
You won't see the trend line won't be as many peaks and valleys. And, I think anytime you can have consistency throughout your team is better. I mean, if you just look at rankings, I mean, some of the best teams I've coached is when both the offense and the defense were in the top 10. They necessarily don't need to be both in the top 5. It's, when one can play to the other, because there's always weeks that one's going to have to pick up the slack for the other. Sure. And that's what a complementary football team looks like.
Wow, good explanation.
Yeah. So there are
now do it
situations and seasons where you go in, you're like, we want to I know it sounds odd, but we want to purposely score less points.
Right.
Oh, see, I'll tell you what.
No, man. Let's give a round of applause to the movie star, man. Happy birthday to you, and thank you so much for your support on your birthday. Mr. 316 himself, man. He said, it's my birthday, Cowboy Nation. All I want for the Cowboys is to win, if in a blowout fashion. Time to let them hang, baby. Yeah, DC for life. Appreciate you, man. Happy birthday, man. Happy birthday. So that puts you in what zodiac sign would you be, all of that? Y'all let me know. You're Libra or, what zodiac sign are you, man? And cheers to you, fam. And thank all what you do, man. And shout out to you, man, for speaking my name out there to Felix Jones, man. I really appreciate that. Good or bad, happy or sad, right? Libra season, okay. Libra gang, okay. Yeah. Shout out to the Libra gang. Yeah, Leos and Libras, all of y'all, man. Appreciate y'all. So that puts you in the class of what? Stephen A. Smith. Who else? Jerry Jones, Big Game James, he's a Libra too. And it was someone else, Ryan Clark. I learned that he's a Libra, So all of y'all birthdays are kind of lumped together, right? So shout out to you, man.
Is that what you got out of that?
That's 100% what I got out of it.
God, you better listen to your doctor.
I obviously don't. That's why I'm in this situation.
I think you're slipping already. You better check in.
No, Coach. That wasn't.
That's not what it means.
That wasn't from you. That wasn't from you, no. Mike. We've been having that discussion with other dum-dums up here in this building, where they're like, I think we'd prefer the Cowboys to score 24 because that would
instead
mean
of 30
time of possession and taking care of the football. And we're like, you don't want to score less points, right? Wouldn't that come with?
Oh yeah.
That's what we were talking about.
No, well, complimentary is complimentary, but just because you score doesn't mean that the other team will have a faster way to score as well. I truly believe if we are efficient enough to get our first downs, right, to move the chain, to continue to apply pressure, then we can still get to 28 to 30 points a game, right? It's just playing sound football. Shout out to my guy, Big Game James, 30 for 30, right? He literally won 30 passing, 30 rushing, but we're not going to get that, but you can draw up a game plan to solidify that. I truly believe if you're more heavy on the run on the first quarter, right? Let's break it down into quarters. Like first quarter, I don't need for my quarterback to have 6 and 7 throwing attempts. I need my quarterback to do like this, run the ball. I think that established the tone, that get your offensive linemen in rhythm, right? They're going forward, not backwards. And if you want to pull them, get them out in space, I think that would set the tone. You set the tone first, and then you can start chip away with the passing and everything else that open up play action, that open up, hey, dictating the defense where they're going to be aligned at and things like that. So run the rock. I'm not sitting like here's another thing that a lot of people get always mixed up with me. They say, well, Law, your number's flawed because majority of the times when teams are winning, they run to secure the lead. No, I'm not saying that. You have every control with your first quarter to put the ball in the belly of the running back, right? To establish. You got to establish something first, right? It's equivalent to me going live, right? I hit the live button, and now I'm trying to install the mic. Now I'm trying to install my camera. But I'm already pressing live. That stream wouldn't work good for you guys, right? You guys will be at least saying, Law, can you establish first by buying a better camera? Hey, you got echo. Hey, Law. Right? So when I go live, there's a method to this madness. I'm not pressing live. I can give you guys a raw cut every now and then. Let me just break it down even further. Every now and then, I get maybe 1 to 3 people who say, hey, why your intro is so long, right? But to get this graphics up here, to get the names strolling, right, to have the audio feed in, to listen to yourself, it takes time. There's no way that you can do it all the way right? So sometimes you have to do it while it's live. You have to make sure that the audio is straight. I have to make sure that the tags are there, right? The SEO properties, the links are there, making sure I give proper credit to the people, information that I'm going to play, and let people know on Twitter, Facebook, hey, I'm live as much as possible. I think Big Sarge just said he didn't get the notification, right? So it's a process. I have to establish that I'm finna go live. I had to establish that I'm spending resources to get this mic. I had to establish this soundboard so I can play.
This is Sparta!
Now, if I'm live on my phone, I can hit the button and go straight live. I wouldn't have that, right? I wouldn't have some of the juices. I wouldn't have the strolling tech at the bottom. I wouldn't have the phone line built in, right? Because I haven't established something. So that's what when we say you have to establish the run. And what happens when you establish the run? The safety that's over the top. Oh, I got to creep a little bit further. His first few steps normally backwards. Now he's coming forward. Now they can't look at quarters defense. They can't play 2 shell looks because they already established the run. Now when I'm rolling out, the linebacker is going to cheat a little bit because he's trying to make a bead line to disrupt that play. And now the yards that you are trying to get easier. But if I'm starting off throwing, the yards, if I'm a DB or a linebacker, I can sit on routes. We talking football now. I can sit on plays now, right? I can jump routes. And if you look back, just pay attention. Look back at Cooper Rush last game. They didn't establish the run, even though they were successful. They didn't establish the run until the third quarter, in the fourth. So the play action was not even effective. The DBs, as good as they are for the Eagles, they sat on route. They said they was thinking with the mindset, I wish Cooper Rush would throw this ball this way because I'm going to pick it off. and I'm going to dance. I wish. Because they were eating up all of that stuff because the Cowboys didn't establish the run. They didn't establish the live stream well, right? They just went live. Oh, let me go look for my buttons now. No, it's too late. And by the time everything was right, it was too late. It was way too late. Way too late. I'm looking for it now. It was. Oh, no. So you got to establish it.
Yeah, we love being in the 30s. I think anytime, if the defense holds them less than, 17 and the offense scores more than, 24, there's some common analytical goals that apply over the historical balance of this league. And obviously just the way the scoring in the last 10 years has gone up. I mean, we all know that it's down this year and for other reasons, I think. But so we're in tune with that. I mean, I've done this a long time, and we have goals that are really done off of historical values that both the offense and defense obtain to, whether it's missed assignments, mental errors, ball security. So these are things we really try to stay on top of because it all feeds into being a balanced football team.
Mike McCarthy joining us here on 105.3 The Fan. The Lions offense, it is, outside of the New England game, it's been, just a shootout kind of team. What have you noticed that's different about their offense this year compared to what it was last year?
Well, I'll just say this, they get excellent balance, all the way through their offense. I mean, if you look at, obviously the quarterback's extremely productive. They got two dynamic backs. I mean, I really like their 1-2 punch with Swift and Jamal Williams. Two really good tackles.
Dang, just got some breaking news. Deshaun Watson found himself in trouble again in Ohio. Just months after he was traded to the Browns, he was busted for going 97 miles per hour in the 70 miles per hour speed zone. That dude, Deshaun Watson, can't get anything right, but the Browns need Deshaun Watson to get back. I know that's a whole nother conversation, but it goes to show you, not everybody's a good citizen, right? They get caught up with all types of nefarious things, but damn, Deshaun.
Excellent center, they got good tight end, good perimeter players. So, it's a very balanced offense, and they do a really good job conception. If you look at their statistics of run and pass and situational, they've done a good job with their self-scout. They're pretty balanced all the way through. So, they make you. There's not a lot of tips and mannerisms going into this game. And, on top of that, they're coming out of a bye week. So, we're expecting more unscouted looks than we probably would see at this time of year. So this is a big challenge for our defense.
Do you think, speaking of defense,
did
Philadelphia do something to Micah to kind of neutralize him? It looked like he wasn't as impactful in that game as he has been in just about every other game he's played.
I wouldn't say what they did to neutralize him. I think it's just really their offense. Their quarterback's a primary run threat, and when you go up against offenses like that, they're different than Baltimore, but it's you play differently, and your assignment actually, when Micah was in the open.
That's the Cash App right there, man. Somebody asked what's the Cash App. I just put it in the text box right there, so you can hit the Cash App at cash.me/$Laws Nation. Right? Appreciate you. Thank you for asking.
In that position, playing the surf technique, I don't know if there's anybody who can play it any better than he does. So I wouldn't say that because you don't really get the. I think when people look at Micah, they go right to sacks. How many sacks did he have in a game? And that's not a drop back passing team. If Philadelphia would prefer to go through the whole game and never drop back and pass, they'd love to stay in the action game. So I would say it's as much about that as it's really the type of game that we were in.
Coach, I know a lot.
All right, so here's where a lot of people going to get lost with Micah Parsons. When we look at the stat sheet, Because in their minds, they're going to look at Parsons as an edge rusher, right? They don't even look at Parsons as the linebacker. And let's break this down. Edge rusher, defensive edge rusher. What do that mean? Edge, I'm on the edge, and I'm rushing. It's right in the name. He's not that. It's not on his resume as an edge rusher, right? So many people going to always look at the sack total. Oh, we shut Parsons down because he didn't have a sack. That's low IQ football talking, right? Let's be real when we talk about this. It's equivalent to, let's say, for example, Reggie White. He was an edge rusher, but it would be equivalent to think that, hey, why is he's not dropping into the flats? Why he's not covering the tight end down the seam? Why is he, so you can't, those are not comparing apples to apples, right? He is not an edge rusher. He's a linebacker or a lionbacker, but he is effective when they do rush him occasionally, right? He is not the guy that you're going to give him 40 to 50 snaps just rushing the edge. No, he's going to be a guy that drops out in coverage and be situational. Sometimes they'll slide him through the A gap, B gap. C is forever. They may do that at times. But sometimes people will look at Parsons and look at the sack total and say, hey, man, we must have shut him down, man. Yeah, man, we shut him down. We held him to 0 sacks. Yeah.
A lot of people in your position don't believe in moral victories, but just one more thing on that Philly game, sitting there 20-0, backup quarterback on the road, undefeated team, and y'all fight all the way back. That's the reason we came in here on Monday still feeling really, really good about the resolve that y'all showed. Did you look at it like that in any way after the game?
I love the fight of the team, and frankly, I think a lot of times when you get in those situations, and this is clearly after the fact. I mean, it's just like your how many points you want to score question. You don't want to be down 20-0, but I tell you what, it's a great spot to be in to learn from, and that's really was the message at halftime. It was just like, hey, this is exactly what it feels like to get punched in the jaw. It's a great place to be, and this is how we're going to respond. And I just, once again, this team, the competitive spirit, the play style is a huge strength of ours, and we just weren't as clean, emotionally in some particular spots, and that's really it. I mean, the ball security. Being -3 and still having a potentially position to go win the game is, I think that's a real credit to our football team.
Yeah, well, the thing is, with them talking about that to the coach, they would have crushed him if they said, just imagine if you played sound football in the first half, just imagine if you played the fields. And I know that they want to keep that relationship going, Sean and RJ. And of course, this is early in the morning. It's like 6 o'clock that they do this. And shout out to them. But can you imagine if they say that, right? Like, your thought track's on 3rd and inches, man. You just lean forward and get the first down. What's going on? And if you want to be aggressive with it, there could be a situation whereas you do it twice. Why would you put your quarterback in that type of situation, right? Can you imagine if you played a more sound game, right, on the first quarter, the second quarter? But, if we want to win a playoff game or even get to the playoff game, the coaching staff must play complementary football, right? And not put your defense in that type of situation. Establish something. Establish the run. Establish the run first, and then then you can play off of everything else.
And then, Coach, before we let you go, don't know how much you even know about it since it happened basically overnight. Christian McCaffrey traded to a team you know pretty well in the San Francisco 49ers. Any thoughts on the McCaffrey deal?
Well, I mean, obviously an incredible talent, and and I think obviously it's probably a very good day in San Francisco. I'm sure they're excited about it.
When do you get your news? Like, how do you catch up on whatever you feel like you need to know around the rest of the sports world? When does that happen for you?
I just listened to 105.3 The Fan.
That was a good one. That was a good one, man. That was a good one. He just listened to 105. Hey, to check out that complete interview, be sure to click that link there to 105.3 The Fan, and you, my friend, will be able to hear the complete interview without me pausing and rewinding. Cowboy Nation, the 49ers, shout out to my brother. He was livid last night. I said, yeah, we'll go live. We'll talk about this. CMC to the 49ers. What do this mean to the Cowboys or for the Cowboys? It means this. Look, the Panthers are 1-5, fire sale. And if you want to get that extra edge to take your team all the way or get your team all the way over the top, sometimes it requires you to be a little bit more aggressive by picking up the phone and saying, hey, since y'all got this wholesale going on, you're firing and burning stuff down, and I'm clearance rack shopping myself. How much one of those DJ Moores will cost us? I mean, y'all already 1-5, and I think that the more you lose, the better draft options you get. Let me help aid you with that, right? Or how much will it cost for us to get? Do they still have that DB Jackson out there? Shaq Thompson, somebody, man. Burns. You got to be aggressive sometimes. You got to really be aggressive sometimes. Sometimes you'll be sitting there, and let me use this as an example. You out at the spot, and you chilling, and you see the lovely lady dancing on the floor, right? By herself. She's grooving, right? Sometimes you got to build up the courage to say, may I have this dance? And if you suave, you may not even have to ask. You just walk up close to and start grooving. And then, what you drinking on? Hey. And before you know it, you look up, you're married for 10 years, for 12 years, right? But you got to initiate, right? Sometimes you got to do the hunting. And the reason why I say that is because John Machota, shout out to him, and his Twitter account and all what he do for the Cowboys community, one of the best, man, hands down, one of the best. John Machota, straight news, man, no fake or phony stuff, man. It's hard to find anything wrong on John Machota. But he says this is what the Cowboys owner Jerry Wayne said on a potential trade on 105.3 The Fan. Usually, if there's a good chance of making a trade, it comes when your phone rings, not when you pick up the phone and ring another team. I love the way that word ring is in there, right? Jerry, nobody's going to call you. Nobody's going to call you. Nobody's going to call you. And this type of thinking, it's good. Maybe in the 80s, the 90s, early parts of 2000. But we live in a generation now that, man, if you sitting still, the whole world will pass you by. The world will pass you clean by. Jerry, you need to get on the phone and start wheeling and dealing. Just because you perceive to be the guy with the dapper suit on, right? They got all of the money. And you sitting in your VIP lounge or next to it. doesn't mean that young lady is going to walk to you. Sometimes you got to interact. Maybe sometimes you may have to send your boy over there. Send your boy, send somebody over there. Hey, man, you see Ashaniqua over there? Hey, go get her for me right quick. Tell her the drink is on me. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you got to do that, right? Kamika, Ashaniqua, you got to send the drink that way. Or Ashley, or somebody who's just using girls' names, Because she may just be like, oh, I'm good. I'm grooving by myself. Oh, I got my girlfriend coming in 5 minutes, But sometimes you got to let them know. You got to let them know.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
DJ Moore, baby. Hey, you got to send something over there. At least be willing to let them know that you are accepting an offer or you are willing to accept something. And the Cowboys, and I get it, there'll be a third of the people that are going to burn me and say, Lord, we don't need a DJ Moore. We don't need those guys. We good. James Washington is going to be phenomenal, right? Just wait. Michael Gallup, CD Lamb. I hope his scratch CD is okay because he got a bad hip right now. And if anybody knows anything about wide receivers and hips, you need to use them hips when you get down at the top of the route. Just spring open so you can catch that ball and absorb that pain so you won't drop the ball, right? So you won't give up on a play when the ball is close to you. You need to figure out things. CeeLo said, Bull Sugar Washington going to be blind. James Washington, he's going to give us that spurt just like DeAndre Hopkins just did. D-Hop came back with 10 receptions over 100 yards for the Cards. Scratch CD. Yeah, the CD, man, kind of scratch right now, man. We had to remember them CD kits? You had to, man, I got this kit, man. It was get the scratches away, We need to get some of that on CD. Oh, hey, all right. We got a super chat, man. I appreciate you. Appreciate you, man. That what surprises me, Law Nation. How is it that the owners of the Dallas Cowboys don't do it big and aggressive? Everybody has told me that Texas does it bigger and better. Shout out to my girl, Brianna Betty. This has not been true in 20-plus years. Oh, I left out Noah Brown. Yeah, Noah Brown and Gallup is enough. This is my guy, Smith Charles. Yeah. Everything is bigger in Texas. I think that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to hold on to that money so it can stay bigger and stay growing, My thing is with Jerry Jones, he spoke on a few things, even with the political Jerry about the whole saga with Roger Goodell. He said, nah, man, I like Roger Goodell, you don't have to lie to kick it to us, man. It's a situation whereas I can tell you this. Alex says, shout out to Ashaniqua and Kamika. Pookie and Ray. Oh, my God. I appreciate you for the super chat, man. Shout out to you, man. And shout out to the people, man. The people on Facebook, man. I see y'all. Chang Lee and John Sullivan and Jeremy, appreciate you. And Jason Horn, Jeff Ross, man, appreciate you. Here's the thing. I think that the Cowboys been snake bitten with the trade situation and philosophy. Goes all the way back to the Joey Galloways, Roy Williams, right, with wide receivers. Like the Amari Cooper deal, we hit on that a little bit, but a lot of people were not satisfied with that, right? And a lot of things when we look at that, we would say to ourselves, all right, the Cowboys, will they pull the trigger again? Or do we just like our guys? And truth be told, we hit right now on the defensive side with Dorrance Armstrong. I was complaining all offseason, right? Look at, I had to eat a whole bunch of crows, right? So I'm just trying to figure out, even with Noah, for 3-game stretch, I had to eat a whole bunch of crows, right? And then Noah kind of got banged up just a little bit. And hopefully this weekend, Noah be straight up back to Noah, right? But he ain't no head turner, he ain't DeAndre Hopkins, right? He's Noah Brown. He ain't Noah Carter, as my guy, Boss Cowboys say, hey man, he remind me of Chris Carter. He ain't that. But Noah stepped up from where he was drafted at or how he came upon his team and the growth aspect of it. But if you're looking for this offense to turn the corner, I know we're going to be better with Dak Prescott, of course. But dog it, I ain't want to block you, but lean forward just a little bit, unless you will put an American flag up there. Look, why don't you lean forward right here? Get out of here. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. But I thank you for the hearts, but too many emojis. Get up out of here. Judah Redemption, appreciate you. We could use a defensive tackle to help the interior. I'm trying to think of our defensive tackles right now. I would tell you this. It won't hurt. It definitely will not hurt to improve that. But my thing is with Osa, Navarre Gallimore, Tristan Hill, even when you add in Big Bo, I think that those guys are doing their job pretty good. And if anything, it could be a situation and scenario that the Cowboys should just look at a linebacker. We all know, like Anthony Barr, we don't see him being here for 3 years, right? We look at him as being a bridge guy for either Jabril Cox, Devin Harper, and we don't have like a 4-year contract out of LVE. So at this point, he is a bridge guy. So when that bridge is going to connect to these other guys, that's what we're waiting for. Like, we see the bridge. All right, we get it, right? Those guys are playing solid. That's the bridge. It's a solid bridge. But when it's going to connect to Jabril Cox, when it's going to connect to Damone Clark, when it's going to connect to even Devin Harper, or there's no way to me that for the 2023 season that we would see Anthony Barr suited up, right? LVE suited up. But for dog sure, I can paint this reality that we can see Jabril Cox for 2023, Damone Clark, etc. Hugh says, how much would it cost to get DJ Moore? A second or a third? At this point, the Panthers are 1-5. And I'm quite sure teams are saying, we'll put in an offer, but it ain't that price. Like I was hearing on one of the episodes this morning that CMC at first originally the Panthers they was asking for 2 firsts. The Eagles were in the mix, the Rams were in the mix, and the 49ers. And I know the Eagles always be in the mix for those trade rumors because their guys always picking up the phone. Look, the Eagles, what's that guy's name over there? They trying to get better. They ain't trying to get worse. What's this guy's name? What's the guy's name? He's the name at the tip of my – is it Howie Roseman? Howie Roseman, right? He not going to sit back and wait for the phone to ring. Ain't nobody going to call Eagles. And the guy over there in L.A., to live and die in L.A. Sure, he picking up the phone himself. I just lifted up that Lombardi trophy last year. I want to get some more reps. So, yes, he was in the CMC, but the price of that brick was just too high, you know. Cut it. You got to cut it, you know. He was like, man, that price is just too high. I'm going to have to pass, man, because we really don't got no first rounds like that. We done already squeezed all we can squeeze. And then the Niners were like, all right, we'll give you 4 picks for them, but this would be this type of thing that we can give you because we got compensatory picks that we can trade now and we can move around. And the 49ers looking at it differently from what the outside people are looking at it, because the outside people is going to look at it like CMC, injury prone, blah, blah, blah. The Niners looking at it like, nah, I'm bringing in somebody that we can use as a slot receiver. We need help at that. Oh, we can put them in the backfield. We can use them in that capacity and alleviate some of the principles and the responsibilities out of Debo, right? And then I can run Debo on a wheel route. Can you imagine now you got Debo in CMC? He could be just a decoy. What your safety gonna do now, right? If he got forced responsibility, he's gonna cheat a little bit inside, and then he's gonna say, well, hold on. Who's gonna switch off, the linebacker on the wheel or the safety? That's compromising your doggone. That's compromising your defensive coverage. Just by having Debo and CMC in the backfield at the same time. So that's just how it goes. I'm just glad that they got Jimmy Garoppolo back there. And I know he go wet the bed because I can't see my mind of the Niners going back to the Super Bowl and beyond. And they got a hole to climb up out of because he won't be ready against the Chiefs. He supposedly shouldn't be ready. My guy Chapo says, Law, you think we should get Sue and stop the run? The Sue situation is like, okay, you bring Sue in. And think about this. The Cowboys are thinking, like I said earlier, they're supposed to be thinking 2023, 2024. I don't see the Cowboys being a now team, right? They thinking 2023, 2024. Are you going to move Osa out the way? Are you going to move Navier Gallimore out the way? When I was banging the table almost in half for Sue this offseason, a lot of people were bringing up, hey, give Navier Gallimore those spells, right? Let's see what we get out of Tristan Hill. Let's see what we can do now out of the promises of moving Ghostin inside, right? We don't need, right? That's what I heard all offseason. And I just look at the way the Cowboys operate and handle their flow. The only way the Cowboys pick up an older guy, long in the tooth guy, unless a catastrophic, like a crazy injury happened, not catastrophically, but you guys get what I'm saying. That's a big injury occur, then the Cowboys will say, all right. But if these guys are able to walk and move around, they're going to stick with we like our guys. Right? Look what it took for the Cowboys to get Amari Cooper. Look what it took for your young quarterback to be out there. People fail to realize what that was his 3rd season. It took the team to be 3-5. And they said, you know what? 2 tears in a bucket. Pluck it. That's how you save that F word. Pluck it. We're going to go use this draft capital to go get Amari Cooper. That's just how it is. The Cowboys are not a proactive team. They are retro. And you can build your house upon whether or not that's good or bad, but let me know. They're not proactive. They're retroactive in that category. Now, the thing that's been saving graces, been there drafting philosophy, right? Being there developing philosophy. But the only problem is when you go through drafting philosophy and development philosophy, it's time. It takes time. It ain't happening any time quicker. It takes flat out time. You are definitely not going to get anything quicker because it's going to take time. Look, how many years did it take for us to see Lawrence Armstrong do his thing, right? It's a lot of patience, baby. It's cheaper, but it's a lot of patience. Coach K, appreciate you, man. Thank you for jumping in. StrictlyBusinessBoxing.com. Appreciate you. All right, so do I have any more audio? Let me see if I got any more pieces on this before we rock. What is his thoughts on Jerry Jones' thoughts on Jared Goff? He always was proud of him, had him in the meetings there. He also talked about the owner. Jerry Jones talked about the Robert Kraft situation. I think I wanted to talk a little bit on that. He said, Jerry Jones, this is what he said. And shout out to John Machota again. He said, let me be clear, real clear. I'm a real supporter of Roger Goodell as a commissioner. I think he's done an outstanding job. And basically, and he said he had any issue with a structure regarding we were going to address the commissioner on his success. It was not about my support of Roger Goodell. So basically, as I fumbled all through that reading there, he says basically it's not about Roger Goodell, it's about his money. I guess you can just shorten it up. One thing I can tell you about the Jones family, them jokers be worried about another person's money. They do. Like, hey, man, Roger Goodell, we pay you too much. Hey, man, hey, D-Law, man, we paid you too much, man. Hey, we paid you this much money. Now you need to give me Khalil Mack's production, you know. Hey, man, hey, Dak, man, we paid you $40 million now give me the Super Bowl now. No, it don't work that way. Just because I paid for said product doesn't mean that the product is going to do this, right? If anybody go out there and buy a Bugatti, and if you never drove a stick shift before, and if it's not an automatic and it's manual shift, it's not going to all of a sudden learn you, right? You got to know how to drive a stick. So just because you go spend all of this money for said player, if you don't have said coach to drive it or philosophy and scheme put in said place, you ain't doing nothing. You just wasting your own money. You wasting your own time. Now, willing and dealing could have been an option, but you refuse to do that because you have the fear of loss. That's the sales strategy, right? Buy now. The sale ends today. That's sale philosophy. But if you check out with that same company that said the sale ends today, come back tomorrow, man, they be like, you know what? Just for you, we're going to give it that rate. No, that's just a philosophy. It's fear of loss. And Jerry Jones, glory hole fund. But it's just the reality of it. You walk into a car dealership, you walk in there with cash. Walk in there with cash. Watch how they'll fold up like a wallet, you know. But you had to do financing, boy. They got you a little bit. But you walk in there with $25,000 worth of cash, trying to buy a $6,000 or $7,000 car. Shoo. You can get that thing down there to the bottom. You out hustle the car dealer, man, you know. But just don't let them know that you got 25, though. That's the key. Don't let them know how much money you got. You walk in there, get down to close and say, hey, man, we got a deal. The car $7,000. How about $4,000 right now? You know what I'm saying? How about $4,000 right now? No question asked. Money in your hand today. Hey, we're like, hey, let me speak to my manager right quick. I just got to go speak to him. You walk out of there. You walk out of there with a deal. Might walk out of there with 35. On a $7,000 vehicle or $10,000 vehicle. Shoot, but if you don't have the cash, you at their mercy. And then don't let them use their own in-house financing. They're gonna hit you with all type of stuff. But cash is king. But that's just how it is in business. And I ain't trying to tell Jerry Jones how to operate business, because the dude made more money than I can even think of just last night. Jerry ain't no dog no more either. Yeah, and Mike, that's a brand statement right there. He ain't that dog. He ain't that dog to go out there and hunt. Remember they said that dog don't hunt. That dog don't hunt no more. That dog don't hunt. He got teeth and everything. He just sitting on the porch just relaxing, talking about, hey man, I ain't gonna go bite nothing unless they come to my porch. Nah, man. Get out there and bark at everything that's coming around. Mailman. The car driving by too fast. Somebody that's staring too long. Them type of dogs ready to defend to the death. Jay Lombardi says, I'm broke, baby. I ain't got no money. B Bird, let's do this. Yo, Law, it don't work that way anymore. We buying a car. When buying a car, shoot. Well, it don't work that way on those big dealerships. But it's one of those mom and pop dealerships, shoot. You walk right in there. Hey, I got $4,000 right now. Randy, why don't you go over there and talk to Sarah right quick? Now you mean to tell me you got $4,000? Yeah, I got $4,000 right now. Now I normally don't go that low on that deal. So you gonna give me $4,000 cash right now? You put that cash on the table, that joker gonna start sweating. He ain't gonna let you walk. Hey, B Bird, I know you're a good guy. But I don't think a car salesman, especially those mom and pops, gonna walk off from 4,000. He gonna figure out a way. I may not have that model, but I have this model. He gonna get you rolling. You gonna win that deal somehow, one way or another. You gonna win that deal when you have the money in hand. Claiborne has a ring too. Do he have a ring? Who's that? You're right with the mom and pop, but yeah, those other dealerships, they might try to finagle you a little bit, But if you buy a used car, make sure it's certified though. That's my only little pro tip to you guys, And don't get into heavy finance. 657-390-7391. It's the hotline. I want to know your score prediction. I want to know your thoughts about this game coming up, your feelings, your emotions on Rain Dakota Prescott and beyond. Come on. Mods, can y'all put the phone number in the chat?
No question, keep it real. Whether we East Coast and Norway in the Haven Hills.
There are 3 participants in the conference.
Heard you call it's for real.
Please announce
Son of
yourself.
God, not a son of sand.
Come on.
Keep it off the books and keep it coming in.
Yeah.
It's the OFC, what I'm coming in.
What's it say?
The inside caramel just like $100,000.
It talking about my boy $100,000, boy. He said the inside caramel. Oh yeah. That peanut butter interior do look good though. But the caramel interior, that look real dope. Yes, indeed. With the wood grains, dashboard, y'all know how that goes. I got the first caller of the day. Speaking of that, I got B Bird in the house. What's good?
What's up, Law, man? Hey, so Law, I gotta tell you, man, I was at a dealership. And it was a big dealership. So I did, when you said mom and pop, you kind of
I kind of recover ground. Yeah.
Yeah, because see what happened, man. I was at a dealership. My daughter wanted to buy a car, and it's a used car. It's a pretty good price, man. It wasn't real old.
Right.
So me and the guy worked a deal or whatever because my daughter wanted to get a credit going. I said, man,
Okay.
shoot, they charge us so much on there. I said, man, I told my wife, I said, man, we'll just buy it and let her pay us back. You know what I'm saying? In cash. So I told the guy, I said, hey, man, how much? Why don't I just pay it out in cash?
Right.
The guy said, man, he said, no. He said the cash price is higher. I said, I don't understand. He said, yeah. He said, no. He said, like, we give you this low price so you can go through our finance. And then he said, but if you go cash, I got to charge you, $4,000 more. And the car wasn't up at $11,000. So I was like, I don't get this. I thought cash was king. He said, no, man. He said, we make money, man, off the financing and other things that we offer you in the back and closing and all that kind of stuff. That's where a lot of the money is made.
Oh yeah.
So if we cash is cash. Like if we get $10,000 off you, we get $10,000.
Right.
But
right.
if we can finance you, over 5 years, $12,000. Look how much money we're making off that. You get what I'm saying? So
right.
He said, so now a lot of the money, man, is in finance. So I said, so cash ain't king no more. He said, not really, man. We make more. He said, we make more money off of people that finance through us instead of somebody paying us cash. Say you buy a car for $30,000 cash. Well, then I just made $30,000. But if I finance you $30,000 for 6 years, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I didn't know that. And say, then guess who finances? We do.
We do.
With Nissan, we finance it. So we're making money off the car sale and we're making money off the financing. And I never realized that. But again, if you go to a mom and pop, one of those ones on the corner, now cash is still king. They're trying to get their money.
They try to get it back, But those big conglomerates, they got so much inventory. They just look at that car as a number
holder. They want to
holder.
put you through the car wash and make money off you thugh the car wash, right?
Right.
So that's just the way it is.
Yeah. But you know what else? In Texas, I've learned that, this is my first big house, but, when we first got this house, it was like, okay, you had PMI, you had all of this stuff, and the company that I used to underwrite the deal or what have you, and to get under their mortgage, it was crazy because you know what they didn't want us to do? They didn't want us to double up and pay up. No.
Yeah.
No, they made it hard. They said, so if you're gonna pay an extra payment, this is what you gotta do. You gotta write this envelope and you gotta send money here and you gotta make sure you gotta express mail it there and you gotta wait for 4 days and then come back around. And then you know what they did? They got tired of us paying so much money that before you know it, they traded me. They were like, man.
Oh yeah.
They traded me to another company.
You ain't making no money, man. They see in the future. They like, oh no, this guy. We ain't making no
They got so mad at us, man. They was like, man, you know what, man? We would just trade y'all, man.
Well, the same thing happened to me, man, because I get paid bi-weekly.
Right.
So I had to get mine. I asked, hey, can I get my mortgage taken out bi-weekly? Well, what that does is that pays an extra note a month because you bi-weekly get 26 paychecks a year. Then 2 times a month. So what I'm saying is, man, it took a while. I had to go back and get it refinanced, get a whole bunch of other things done for that to happen. They did not make it easy for me.
Man, they didn't make it easy, man. But but long story short, man, I don't got no PMI anymore though. But keep going.
So yeah, that's great, man. They're just giving away money, really, PMI. So
big facts.
One of the things, going back to the Cowboys, because I am more of a, when I start calling your show more. But I'm definitely more of a culture, leadership,
right.
A structure type guy. I'm not. I love the X's and O's, but I think if you get the coaching right, you get the ownership right, you get the GM right, then everything else is gonna, fall in place. Those guys you got to have in place. But I also think when I look at the front office is that they really like to build through the draft only because my whole thing is the Joneses. They're trying to protect their reputation or trying to up their reputation as football guys.
Right.
And I think when they go out to get free agents and trades, that puts them on the block a little bit more. That puts them at risk a little bit more. And so they don't like to do that. The draft is safe. They go through the draft. And they try to build through the draft. Also, what they'll do through the draft sometimes, too, is they'll try to put a stamp on a draft pick saying it's good or not by signing, like Jalen Smith. Sign him early and try to say, okay, he was a success. That doesn't mean it was a success. LVE re-signing him because they're still trying to find out if we can get this guy. They don't want to give up on their draft.
They don't want to give up at all, man.
So the thing about it is, and it all comes from this, man, is that the Joneses have the luxury of sitting around waiting and doing this because their jobs don't depend on it. These GMs out here that job depend on if they win or not are making moves. Why? And I always say this, is because, hey, when they lose their job, who's going to pay for Stanford University? Who's going to pay for this gated community? Who's going to pay for that? So they GMing for their jobs. So Jerry and Steven aren't doing anything for their jobs. They don't have any reason to go out and take chances. Why? Because it doesn't matter if we're 2-15 or 15-2. They're still going to be in power and in control and have jobs and have salaries. And so that's what the issue is. That's why I said that the only people that show urgency in Cowboy land are Cowboy fans.
Oh,
Everybody
my
else
God.
is in there comfortable because they're comfortable because they're not risking anything as far as the job is concerned. And so I think that's why we don't go out and make these moves or whatever. All in would have been, and I called Sky Show the other day. I said, if you really think about the Amari Cooper trade and everything that's done in the offseason, everything else has worked out. Lyle Collins, we're doing well with Steele.
Right.
We're doing well without Gregory. But the one that always confused me, and I think that if you go back and look at the Cooper trade, is that we didn't have to do it financially. We didn't acquire anybody with the money we saved from Cooper. We didn't do anything. We still got $11 million sitting on the books that we're not doing anything with. Just think right now with the defense we have, with Cooper as our number one, CD as our number two, and Gallup as our number three, and with Dak coming back, man, dude, I'll be like, I don't know who's going to stop us because right now we have a subpar offense and our defense is, probably top 2 or 3 in the league. And
Big
so what I'm
facts.
saying is I don't know why that's an all-in move to me. I think what you do with a 12-5 team like we had last year is you add to that team. You don't take away.
Oh,
when you took away Cooper,
yeah.
I think when you took away Cooper, man, I think that was the one right there that it was a head-scratcher. I can understand Lyle, a little lazy, still got a guy behind him that played better than him. I could see Gregory. We still had Michael Parsons, and we got some guys I could see those moves. But what I'm trying to say is the Cooper move is the one that always I think it was more personal than strategic from a football standpoint. And if we had him on this team at this point in time, getting the coverage he had, you had CD in the slot doing the things that he did, and then you had Gallup slowly coming back, and then at the end of the year, we would have built into something, man, that I think would have been great. I think the NFC East right now, man, I love the fact that we have to go through a gauntlet. We have to play every week. Someone was saying something of the sort that, hey, is Detroit a letdown game? It can't be. If we lose, we go down 3 games to Philadelphia. We're not going to catch those guys.
Yeah.
So every game, Law, I know you probably remember the 90s a little bit. I can tell you this. When we came up and we started winning Super Bowls, part of it was the competition in the East was so fierce.
Within our division.
Got to the playoffs, we were playoff ready, man. We was playing for our lives every week. And so when we beat Washington, when we beat the New York Giants, we were beating teams that had just played in the Super Bowls a couple of years before. And so what I'm trying to say is, then you get the face of Green Bay, you get the face of 49ers. But are you ready for them? Why? I just beat a Super Bowl champion. I just beat a Super Bowl champion 2 weeks in a row. I won a division beating the Philadelphia Eagles, and that's something to be said. Last year, man, we kind of walked our way through our division.
We did.
And when we got and guess who we played? We played the 49ers, but guess what kind of division they came out of?
Oh,
Arizona,
rough and rugged, yeah.
Guess what? Seattle, in any other division, probably would have been a number 2 or a playoff team. And so you had to play in the NFC West last year. You had to play every week. So when they came to play us, they were playoff ready. When we came to play them, we wasn't. We was kind of soft. We built that 12 wins off some soft teams. We really didn't beat one team that was pretty good. I think that was New England.
Patriots,
so what I'm saying is this year, if we make it to the playoffs, we should be playoff ready. The only thing that concerns me is I think that we may have made a mistake with Cooper and not bringing him back for another year and just, going all in, man. That would have been our all-in move, man. And it's great talking to you. Great talking to you, Law, man. I'm going to get off here and let somebody else come on and talk, man. I appreciate you.
B-Bird, man, before you roll, man, you're a very solid guy, man. And you got a podcaster's voice. I think that a lot of people gravitate to you. They're giving you all type of flames and great feedback, man. So I don't know what you do. You sound like you may be retired already, but maybe start off a podcast. You headed. Oh, you're almost there, huh?
I'm almost there, man. Yeah.
Well, keep up the good work, man.
Continue to listen to you, brother. All right.
Thank you, man. That's B-Bird, y'all. Great insight, y'all. Great insight. Y'all asked B-Bird what kind of car he gave his daughter in the chat, I can see her driving one of those Echoes or Prisms, Nissan Altima, Yeah. That's a good caller from B-Bird, though. Great points. the Jones family wanting to be right, refusing to be wrong, going long versus going short. Just like trading stocks, there's only three spots. Buy, sell, or stay put, right? And then 2 strategies, long or short. It's not complicated. So, man, he was right on point. And I think that the Cowboys, they go long with all of their draft picks. And the slap in the face, I know Matt Walesko was the guy that we used the traded pick from the Browns, from Amari Cooper. But I think that, the only saving grace would be if James Washington shows up. Like, we can't just be off on all of this, right? Maybe James Washington. Maybe I'm like my guy Eastside Harold say, man, Law is selling us dreams or what have you. Well, I'm dreaming. Is that maybe, just maybe, James Washington, when he gets back, we'll see that this offense could be even more of a fluent one, right? I know that CeeDee Lamb got that hip pointer, and I know that hurts like what at the top of his route. So when he try to in-cut, out-cut, that gonna hurt. They're going to hurt. You're going to probably shoot him up a little bit. But we're leaning on Noah Brown, and we're expecting Michael Gallup to have some big shoes to fill in. Dre Maddox says, I thought it was John Ridgeway. I thought we had 2 5th-round draft picks. One was Ridgeway and the other was Matt Walesko. But neither here nor there. I got my guy from the 903, Longview. You live.
Hey, what's up, Live?
Nothing to it, Chief. Talk to me, man.
Hey, man, it's the battle of the 2016 draft class, right?
Right.
They said golf was better than Dak, didn't it?
Yep. Him, Wentz, that whole class, man. Yeah, that whole class is. Dak is the only one standing tall right now. Jacoby Brissett, he was in 2016, was he? Jacoby Brissett? Jacoby.
No, I think he probably came a little bit before.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, what you got, man? What you got, fam? What you got?
But now I'm just for one, I'm gonna give him my prediction. I believe we're gonna do 30-10. You know what I'm saying? I'm just believe we're gonna do a lot with I hope we run the right formation. I want to see Turpin get the ball more, some kind of way. I want to see Turpin get the ball, man.
Man, we all looking for that one. If he have there been a kickoff return for a touchdown yet?
Not only kick return. I'm talking about like
punt
during offensive formations.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. Cause they didn't use him not one time since Dak went down, right?
I just
on the
want
offense.
To see him on the offense, loud like this. I just want to see him on the offense, man. I can't say nothing about the defense. The defense got it. I mean, I know Swift and Williams ain't nothing to play with. Them boys coming.
Yeah.
But I feel like our defense can hold up. I think how many yards did the Eagles have? Like 130 rushing yards.
134, I believe, on us. Rushing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, we could bring that down. Yeah. Bring that down. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Like I said, 30-10 is the score, and that's all I got for you. I ain't gonna hold you up. I'm on my way to work.
Hey, man. Well, hey, man. Have a productive day. I thank you for calling in, fam. Salute.
All right. Thank you, man.
That's a good call, fam. Appreciate you, man. All right, now I have my brother from another mother. No other. Don't look like Danny Glover. But keep it real with us, man. And this is my guy, Brandon, from the 815. You live.
Appreciate that, love.
Appreciate you.
First, I want to start by saying this. First, if we gonna call Carolina, can we call for J.C. Horn, the cornerback? To me, I think, I'm not saying that would be better than DJ Moore. I just think he on his rookie deal. We can get about 2 or 3 more years out of him. To me, that's the way we should go.
Man,
I like they actually got a lot of pieces that he kicked for. So
Yeah.
anyone is okay with me, but me personally, I would like for us to go get the cornerback. In a perfect world, I would want us to go get Isaiah Simmons from Arizona. That dude is a stud.
Yeah. They ain't gonna let him go though. No. No, that dude.
That dude is a stud. Back to my Cowboys. DeAndre Swift and Williams will run that ball. They gonna run that ball. They defense is nothing, but they got talent on defense. It's young. They got a lot of talent on offense. It's just they fighters. They gonna fight. My score prediction, like I told you, it's the Lions. We should win. They're a formidable team, but we should beat them 35-17. 35-17. I want to also point out. I know I'm me and Hakeem. We in this thing alone. I haven't heard from him in a minute, so I'm kind of by myself. Hakeem, holler at us.
Yeah.
Dak Prescott is 25-6 against the NFC East.
25-6.
Be like, oh no, he win more games just against the NFC East. In case people didn't know, his non-divisional record is 28-27. I think he is 3-0 against Detroit. I could be wrong. Maybe 2-1, 3-0, something like that. I'm expecting that. I'm just giving my expectation for this game. 252 touchdowns. 252 touchdowns in his comeback. Game against Detroit. That's what I'm expecting. I don't want to hear about no game management. I don't want to hear none of that.
I got
CeeDee
you.
Lamb. Now with CeeDee Lamb, I'm
Hold on, I got you right here. I pulled it up. Dak has a passer rating of 126.2 with 911 yards, 8 touchdowns in 3 games versus the Lions. Let me put that
right.
down.
So he eat against them. So my expectation is to win. I want to tell people like the Queen who said I should maybe go root for somebody else. I just told you what my expectation is, but we should win this game, and I'm gonna give Dak his credit when he win this game. But I'm not finna throw no parade. Before I go, I want to ask Cowboy Nation: is our expectation to win games or win a Super Bowl? Is it to beat the NFC East and lose in the first round? What is our expectation? Because look. I was born in 1990. 1996, I was 6 years old, so I don't really remember that Super Bowl. But I remember 3 straight years of 5-11. I remember when Tony Romo bobbed that ball. I remember when DeMarco Murray had an easy touchdown. He let Julius Peppers made him fumble. I remember when Patrick Crane had a terrible game against New York. I want to win a Super Bowl. I don't care about beating up on the NFC East.
Right.
Winning a lot of games, which we're probably going to do this year. I want to win a Super Bowl.
Man, hey, man, I feel your pain, man. Hey, you ain't the only one. And I get it. Just because you have a different view of things doesn't mean that you're not a diehard Cowboy fan, right? I was against Felix Jones. Felix Jones, like, man, Law never liked me anyway.
I heard about that.
Felix Jones still mad at me to this day. But I wasn't really ragging on Felix Jones like that. But Felix Jones went and played for those Eagles. And then he went and played for those Steelers. So he played for 2 teams I can't stand. So it is what it is. I appreciate you for calling in, fam. I think our audio got distorted. But appreciate you.
Oh, no, it's cool, man. How about them Cowboys, Law? I know you're sitting down, but stand up. Hey, we going to win 35-17.
35-17. That's me, baby. Yes, indeed. So it is what it is. I do like this stat line, though. Dak Prescott, he need to have one of these games, though. Dak Prescott has a passer rating of 126.2 with 911 yards with 8 tubs in 3 games against the Lions. So, and that's in his career. Can we play the Lions twice a year? You know, Aaron Rodgers is privy to that. Okay. But hey, to B Bird's point, I wanted to bring that up when B Bird called in. Not my guy Brandon, but a couple callers back. B Bird, we didn't do a lot of things to help this team on what we lost, right? To that point, we see the same thing even with Green Bay Packers. They lost Devontae Adams, right? And they didn't do a lot to improve in that category. And we are seeing the reflections of that. And they lost, I believe, their edge rusher on the defensive side, and they're no longer the third-ranked defense. So they are in a blunder of a blunder too. You know, so it goes to show you that it is what it is at this point. It is what it is. So next call I have is Lady Jessica. She's from the 903 too, so that's Longview. Where's 903 at? Marshall, okay. How you doing? How you doing today?
I'm doing great. I'm just not understanding why all the negativity and why people got to call in. If you don't believe, why don't they just go find him another team? I'm so sick and tired of people wanting to talk and rag down on Dak like he is trash when this boy is nothing but golden. And if he wasn't, why do all the other teams want him? That's why the other fans hate so much, because they want him as their quarterback anyway. But anyway, if you got to be negative, why are you here? Good night. And talking about, well, I don't care if they don't win games, how they going to make it to the Super Bowl? So y'all, how do you sound by talking like that? They got to win games. It don't matter if they playing a 1-4 team or a 5-6 team or a 6-0 team. It don't matter. As long as they get the win, that's what you want them to do. Win. What you talking about? It ain't going to matter. It do matter that they beat the Lions in this game. We want them to win. We want them to win this out. We want them to go out there and play smash-mouth football from first quarter to the fourth quarter to the end. We want them to go out there and be consistency. We want them to go out there and be one team, one sound, working together as one on both sides of the ball. Now we got our star quarterback back. Now we should go far with the numbers of beating these people. I don't care. I don't want to hear that negativity talk. Y'all do this every day. People get tired of hearing that. If you don't believe, go find yourself another team. And he think he the only one that's been a fan that long. Baby, I am 45 years old, and I've been a fan since I was 5 years old with my little mini football in my hand, jumping up and down, watching Emmitt Smith and them run down. So I got a chance to see them win 3 Lombardi. So don't come here with all that negativity. I'm looking for a win, 41-10.
41-10. How about them Cowboys?
Stop being negative, people.
Oh, yes, indeed. So 41-10. Dak Prescott about to get it in, baby. That's Lady Jessica. She took us to church, man. And let me just oh my gosh, man. Next we have Hakeem. That would be nice, man. If I could have Brandon on the front end, Jessica in the middle, and then Hakeem on the back. And man, y'all killing me today, man. Y'all killing me over here, man. All right, man. We want these Cowboys, man. I promise y'all probably never see me cry, just boo-hoo on the screen. But man, if we can get to that day, man, I'm gonna be a flood tears, man. I'm not gonna eat horse droppings, but I'm gonna be elated enough to just go crazy, man. If we ever get to that day, y'all know what I'm talking about, right? Yes, indeed. And put your hands together, man, for this guy. It's his birthday, and he's calling us right now. And let's get this man in the right spot. From the 316, my dog. Happy birthday to you, man.
Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother. What's up, Cowboy Nation?
Nothing to it.
Look.
You all right? Hello? Yo. Wi-Fi monster got you? You all right, dog? Hello? All I know, he said, yeah. Come on, dog. You all right, man? Happy birthday to you. You all right, dog? I was about to say, man, you had me worried for a second, but you said, ah. Hey, man, you all right?
Okay, there we go. There we go. There we go.
Oh.
Damn, here. Oh, man. I was wondering what happened to you. I was like, man, I'm sitting here talking. I don't hear anything.
Hey, I thought I was going to say, man, I'm going to give you a happy birthday. I didn't know. All right, bro. Happy birthday, man. What's good, man?
Hey, thank you, man. Thank you. Man, look, I watched the little show with the boys from Philly.
Yeah.
And you need some ammunition, and we need to help you.
Okay.
We need to beat Detroit worse than they did. So I'm calling 41-3.
Yeah, that would really set it off.
I believe Mike is listening to what everybody's saying. All this talk about how he wasn't effective in the game.
Mm-hmm.
You dealing with a lion. Pick him off if you want to.
Oh yeah.
And that's what I feel like they did. I feel like everybody's second guessing our defense now. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. We gonna see.
Oh yeah, the defense gonna be. Ooh, Jared Goff, he gonna be sitting back like a duck. He better learn how to run or get that ball out quick.
Man, that's what I'm saying. We finally get to take on the teams that Aaron Rodgers beat up every year.
Every year.
And we way better than Green Bay right now.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Oh yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? We way better than. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna take anything from Detroit. They a little better.
Yeah.
By like 8%. That don't scare me.
They don't scare us. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That don't scare me. But I do believe, that Philly game put us back on track.
It did.
Now Dak's back. It's a wrap.
Mm-mm.
It's a wrap. That's
so you got 41-3, right, my dog?
41-3. We gonna rattle Jared Goff.
Let's rattle him, man. Him and we already heard.
About three different DBs.
3 different DBs. So we already heard that they're one of the top offensive linemen in the league. So we had to play back-to-back top offensive linemen. So we'll see what we can do.
How are they the top offensive linemen? I mean, come on.
That's what people are saying. They got a good offensive line and just horrible defense. And then the last game, of course, the Eagles, they had the number one offensive line. According to Eagles fans, they had the number one offensive line. And we sacked them 4 times. It's just that we couldn't get that interception. We need to work on that. But that's a story of another day, man.
How many sacks did we give up?
0.
Exactly.
But the trade off, man, 0 sacks, 3 interceptions. Give me the 3 interceptions, though.
Right.
Man, the interceptions, man, it killed us, though. But I'm not putting it all on Cooper Rush. I think the philosophy, they should know, hey, man, don't try to throw the ball 30 to 38 times. Run that rock. Stick to the philosophy and the formula that won you those games. Let's not put the game in the hand of Cooper. But that's a story of another day, man.
Did anybody else notice in that game, Cooper's passes were had a little bit more rainbow arcs to them than they had been?
Yeah, they had a little air up under it, man. A lot of air up under it.
Yeah, like they was hanging up there just a little bit too long to say, hey, come and get me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that's the difference between Cooper and Dak. Dak don't fire that joker in there.
No doubt.
You understand what I'm saying? So it's a whole. We will see a whole new offense. Dak got a chip on his shoulder because everybody talking like Cooper was the next coming of Jesus. And don't get me wrong, he managed and did what he was supposed to do. I appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? But it's time for us to put everybody back on notice that we are for real. Now there's a couple of guys from the other stations that say, hey, we Super Bowl bound.
Oh, wow. Let them keep saying that. Maybe they speak it into existence there, but I'm taking it one game at a time, man. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I appreciate you, man, and happy birthday again, man. What you doing before I let you rock, man? What you doing for your birthday, man? What you getting, a tomahawk steak somewhere? Some filet mignon? What you doing, man?
Me and the family, we got a party bus, man. We ain't driving, so.
Oh, you gonna come drive? You come and get me, man. You come and get me, man. You come and get me.
Hey, man, the way we go, we might end up in Dallas.
If you end up in Dallas, hit me up, bro.
Already.
Just tell Felix Jones. Tell Felix Jones, man. Just leave him wherever he's at. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Happy birthday, though, man. What did he say again?
I actually talked to him after that, man. He was like, man, y'all don't have to do me like that. I said, well, I told you I was going to send it to him.
But tell Felix, man, all love for him, man. And if he ever in Dallas, man.
He laughed it off. He said the shit was funny as hell.
Hell yeah.
That's one thing. He do got a good sense of humor, though.
He do. So if you ever in Dallas, man, I ain't trying to add to the pounds on him because I seen it. He look like he lost some good weight, which is good. He looks good. So tell him if you ever in Dallas, your boy got him, you know what I'm saying, on a meal or something. I got him. I'll take him out to eat somewhere, man. We'll have a whole bash, eats and drinks, But I appreciate you, man.
Already. How about them Cowboys?
There's indeed. I got Felix Jones by 5 years, too, Shout out to Felix Jones. I take him to a nice little cigar spot, man, and we'll get some cigars and chill. Me and Felix. But shout out to him. Happy birthday to my guy. And I got the guy, I thought I saw him in the VIP lounge, but I didn't see him. But I got a guy that's going to bring laughter to everyone, and he's from the 863. Scott, man, what's good with you?
Hey, man, what's happening, Cowboy Nation? To my pastor, Law Nation, how you doing, big brother?
Appreciate you, man. Hey, man.
Yeah. I'm a little upset today. Had a little fight with my old lady. She walked out on me. She found some blonde hair. She found some blonde hair in my car. But little did that dumb helper know that she just got her hair done in blonde. That's why I don't believe in black girls having blonde hair. You forget that you got it. They was with a white girl. But other than that, that's the reason why I need the Cowboys to go ahead and handle business on Sunday. Now, here's the thing. I know.
So hold on. I thought you was gonna try to squeeze down on Joy Taylor. What happened?
Bruh, I did DM Joy. Mm-hmm. She hearted it, and that's as far as I got.
Well, that's
as far as I got.
Closing the gap, man. Let me know she know who you are.
She know. She know. You know what I'm saying? Hey, look. Look, my comedy career is blowing up. So one more good show, I just might, GTD. You feel me?
You just got to get one more good show. One
more headline show, probably like New York, and then your boy probably GTD. You feel me? Y'all GTD deal. Y'all ain't been saved all your life. You know what GTD is?
Yes, indeed. Shoot.
Anyway, yeah. But check this out, though, man. I know everybody wants a 42-10. I will be satisfied with a 25 or 30 to 17 win. I want that momentum to build. I want it to build because I don't want them to get unfocused and just think they're going to skate by the Lions. The Lions just might get ramped up because they're playing the Cowboys knowing Dak is back and might try to hurt them. I might try to play their best and then end up beating us, and then we'll be even more pissed off and all that. And I'll keep the focus, man. Steady the ship, man. Steady the boat. You know what I'm saying? And just play hard-nosed defense like we've been doing.
Right.
Shake last Sunday off. Every Super Bowl team except for the 72 Dolphins lost the game and played bad defense one game here or there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So all we got to do is just stay focused. It's that mindset. It's that king mindset, that lion mindset. I might not have gotten the meat last time, but I'm going to hunt this cheetah down, and I'm going to go and get that meat off that rhinoceros. You feel me?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say 31 to 17. That's my prediction.
31-17.
Dak 2 touchdowns. Ezekiel Elliott 1 rushing touchdown. 1 glass of wine with me and Joy, after church. And, we're going to get this done, bro.
Hey, keep shooting your shot, man. Hey, eventually going to hit.
Come on, man. If those who don't follow me, I want y'all to follow me on Comedian Scott Simmons on Instagram. And y'all tell me how I look. I'm sexy. I lost 17 pounds and I'm back in the gym now. I look good. I don't care what now one of y'all say. You know what I'm saying? I know I look good. Shoot, I almost look like Law.
Hey, I saw you on the stage, man. This dude, wow, man. You gonna lift your shirt up and say, "Hey, this is what I got."
Hey, that way, man. Hey, look, that's
that's
the latest came out, bro. Nobody better not take my joke either.
And
I came up with that myself.
they gonna be digging. They gonna be.
Hey, stop, please, come back, please.
But I appreciate you for calling in, fam. Thank you, Scott.
Yes, sir.
Scott be holding me accountable. Me and my brother, man, he'll shoot me a text saying, "Hey, the twin 07 shots, you 08 shots." I'm like, God, dog, man, you really counting all of the shots? So we'll kick back open that on Wednesday. Let's lock this down, though. Let's lock it down.
The conference has been locked.
Let's lock it up, man. I got my guy Aaron, then I got Mike, and then I have my guy Thomas Garrett. Those are the 3 in next in order. So, Aaron, you live.
What's up, Law? How you doing?
I'm well, man. I can't complain, fam. Talk to me, man.
Now, I got a question for you, man. Now, what if special teams scores on a touchdown, defense scores, so Dak doesn't really have to throw a touchdown. He just has to, let's say, manage the game. Would you call it, like, the next day, do you think all these people are going to talk down about Dak or how great the Cowboys play?
I think the media right now, to save grace, they're just going to say, hey, that's a game that Dak Prescott needed, a slow and steady game, first game back from that injury, a thumb, and the Cowboys needed a gritty win, and a win is a win. Right. I don't care. Look, say however you want, man, but if the score 3-2, I'm celebrating over here, popping champagne bottles for at least 24 hours, and then after that we can start talking about this and that, what should have happened. But I agree, if we have scooping scores, if we have a kickoff return or a punt return for a tub, it's still going to go down as a win. We just seen 4 games in a row that they still counted it all to, they still credited it all to the quarterback, right? It goes down in the history that the quarterback won those games, not the scoop and score, the defense, right? Trent Difford won that Super Bowl. Brad Johnson won that Super Bowl. Those names will forever be permeated in the mindset of people, right? Slowly but surely, the other players are fading away, but people will always remember the quarterback. They will always remember Trent Difford, right? And maybe Ray, they always remember Ray Lewis, but they can't remember everybody. They all remember Trent Difford.
Okay, I got you. Now, what that other caller said was a couple calls ago, I would definitely go for J.C. Horn from Carolina.
Oh my gosh, man! Look, just to contextualize it, just contextualize it. J.C. Horn passer rating when targeted is 23. He have already, I looked up his stats, he already had 1 INT. Passer rating when targeted on Anthony Brown is 90. You know what I'm saying? And
he's coming off an injury too.
And he coming off an injury. So JC Horn, like I ain't gonna make this stuff up, man. And JC Horn is the second year. So missed tackles, Anthony Brown, 6. Missed tackles for J.C. Horn, 1. So what do we compare here? You know what I'm saying?
Apples to oranges.
Apples to oranges, but it is what it is. He's a young guy. I liked him coming out of college. He just plays on a horrible team. Only time the Cowboys will have a chance or an opportunity for a J.C. Horn, unless they look at a different philosophy from whoever the new coach will be, and they say, well, he don't fit the scheme that we're trying to run in the future. We'll get rid of him, But I don't see that that's happening, though.
Okay. Yeah, man. So as far as my score prediction, it's gonna be 28-13, maybe 14, and they score that last touchdown at the end of the game where it don't matter.
28-13 or 14. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'll rock with that. I'll rock with that, fam. Appreciate you for calling.
You know what I'm saying? I appreciate you having me on, man.
Anytime.
How about the Cowboys?
How about him, man?
Dracarys.
Good call from him, man. That's Aaron, man. Always calling in with good insight. Then I have Mike. You live, Mike.
What's going on, man?
Nothing to it, man. Talk to me.
Yeah, so I'm just doing just two takes, man, that I just wanted to kind of go through. Last week against them Eagles, man. Dog, when that game opened up, I immediately knew we was gonna lose that game. When it came on television.
When it came on television, why you say that?
As soon as it came on television, I'm gonna tell you why. That was their Super Bowl. That was the Eagles Super Bowl. We immediately panned in to Meek Mills rapping "Dreams and Nightmares," and then we zoomed out the stadium, and the whole stadium erupted in fireworks out this mud. And I said, we're not gonna come away with this game. But that's fine, because next time they can't do that. You can't transport Meek Mills down to Dallas Stadium to AT&T Stadium. You got to come to us next time.
Yeah,
all right?
Yeah.
That was y'all Super Bowl. I don't expect anything else from the Eagles for the rest of this season. Mark my words, Law. Mark my words.
Okay.
I don't expect anything else from them. That was it. They spent 6 games preparing for us, and they got us. They took advantage of Michael Parsons. They got us. But I called last time and I said I always gauge how our team is doing just by listening to Michael Parsons. And I read an article last night, man, on Yahoo, and it said that Dak Prescott came back and Micah immediately got in Dak's face and told that man, this is the defense's team. This is our team. There's nothing you could do about it. Try to take it from us. And I said, you know what? Probably about a year or two ago, if some defensive player was to say that, a year or two defensive player was to say that today, he might have been maybe kicked off the team. You dig what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I was like, you can't kick the best player off your team though, which is Michael Parsons.
Yeah.
Michael Parsons is he's established himself as our leader of this team, man. He is going to challenge Dak Prescott. And one thing that we all know about Dak Prescott is he always answers challenges well. And that's what we have been missing, I feel like, bro. And I'm so happy that I read that article, bro. I read that shit at like 3:40 a.m. I was on the Xbox with my homeboys, man, playing some of that Battlefield. And it just looked over. I was like, let me look at the Yahoo real quick. And I seen that. I said, boy, I'm going to bed. I'm good. I said, man, I'm not even worried about the rest of the season. I'm just ready to get to the playoffs at this point. I'm like old boy. I was born in '89, so I'm like old boy that called earlier talking about he don't remember none of the Super Bowls like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm like him. I'm like him.
You know what? You know what? With all of that, before I let you roll and everything, and I know you've been waiting since 1989. You've been like, hey man, this is my team, baby. But here's the thing. And but at least you got a chance to be in the era of the 3 Super Bowls. So that's good.
Oh yeah. Okay. I got the feeling spiritually.
The feelings of it. But if Parsons, if Parsons is the leader of this team, he don't get that unsportsmanlike conduct penalty.
Yep.
If Diggs the leader of this team, he don't get that unsportsmanlike conduct. So both of our All Pros last game got caught up in the moment, and a leader makes sure that everything is in float, even if he don't have the skill set, the abilities, but he have the wherewithal as far as the mind. I always go back to my grandfather, man. He had a 3rd grade education, right? But it wasn't the fact that he was smart, wise, or had the degrees or anything. But to me, he was a leader because of his wisdom, right? It was because of the way he knew how to walk this earth and he knew how to get things out of something out of nothing. And I think that that's what Dak Prescott brings to the table. He have the ability to get something out of nothing, the intangibles. Nevertheless, the expectations are always high because he has the silver and blue on, or the star on the side of his helmet, and he will always be viewed upon negatively because of the fact that he plays for this team. But he was on another team. I mean, the Cowboys nation would look at him differently. But I feel exactly what you're saying.
Yeah. Because I feel like Derek Carr ain't better than Dak, and I feel like everybody just loves Derek Carr to death out there. Every time I turn on the 4-letter network, they always, Derek Carr is a Super Bowl, Pro Bowl, perennial Hall. I'm like, what are y'all talking? I'm like, this dude is a normal quarterback. Like, what are y'all talking about?
Or the quarterback that we're going to face right now, Jared Goff. You know, they're going to praise him. Yeah. Yeah, they're going to praise him, you know.
All right, Law.
Appreciate you,
I'm going to
fam.
let you roll, though, man. I just had to get that off my chest, man.
Thank you so much, man. Appreciate you, Mike. Appreciate him. Good call from him. All right, and another thing I want to point out, this was a couple of days ago. I think it was from Brandon Graham, and my guy, John Machota, also retweeted this, and I'm going to see if I can pump this through right quick. Bear with me right quick. Y'all bear with me. I got to build a plane while it's in the air. Y'all know how it goes. I ain't that slow with it, but bam, I got it right here. All right. This is from John Machota, a Twitter account. And you guys can see, he says penalties per game, and this was on October the 17th. He goes into details of saying that the Cowboys week 1, 10 penalties. Week 2, 5. Week 3, 8. Week 4, 4. Week 5, 5. And then we have 10 penalties on week 6. And you see a pattern there. You know, look for the trends. Hey, when you get double-digit penalties, you end up losing, right? And this was a statement from Brandon Graham, you know, defensive edge guy for the Eagles. He says there were a lot of penalties that cost them in this game, especially in big moments. That's deep right there. That's a veteran for the Eagles, and he's pointing out something. He's giving us tips and tidbits and big moments. You can't have those penalties. And I know they may seem and appears to be small, but they drive extenders. There's a play that's out there that keeping your offense off the field, right, and keeping your defense on the field, or vice versa. You know, so got to clean up penalties. There's no way around it. You got to play a disciplined football, and leadership got to get it together in Dallas Cowboys land. We could point fingers all day and say, hey, man, and this guy this guy that, but accountability starts with you yourself first, right? And let my guy in from the 615, keeping it live, and then we have the 501 and Big Sarge. Y'all the next three. But you're live, Thomas.
What's up, Law?
Nothing to it, Chief. Talk to me, man.
Yeah, man. I'm talking to you from the gym, man. This is my first time ever talking to you from the gym.
All right, getting it in, man.
Getting it in, brother.
Yes,
getting it
indeed.
in. Yeah, man. We're gonna beat Detroit Sunday, man. You know,
yeah.
We got this, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know, hey, I was intending to call you earlier in the week, but I forgotten. But you know, I talked to my cousin, and he was talking about our Dallas trip next week, and he asked about you, and he wanted to know what was up. He wanted to know if you was gonna do something, and I told him, I said, hey, I gotta talk to my guy first. I gotta talk to my brother-in-law first.
Okay.
You know, talk to him, and you know, I get back with you on what's up. You know, I know you gonna. I know you and Boss gonna do something next week for the Chicago game. I already know.
Right. We gonna have well, I know we're gonna have the Cowboys Experience event. We have it every day before the home game. And get with me or call 817-888-1726, and we'll take real good care of you. And then when we meet up somewhere, we'll hang tight.
All right, it's gonna be at Toyota, right?
Toyota, and then we also have Live by Lowe's. So we have 2 events, and the Live by Lowe's will be our second event. It's more between the hours of 4:30 to 6:30, I believe. That's how that contract work out there. So we'll be out there at Live by Lowe's, but in the earlier parts of that day, between the hours of I'll say meet me there around by 12:30, 12 to 1, 12 to 3. We'll be at the Toyota Music Factory. So that's our schedule for the day before the game. Hopefully we get good weather.
Yeah, man, everybody here in the gym is looking at me right crazy. I don't give a damn, man. I'm talking about my Cowboys.
You talk about your team, man. Just flex on it one time, you know. Yes, indeed. I said, Thomas over there swole, got muscles on top of muscles. You be our personal bodyguard, man. We walk around through Dallas, man. I appreciate you.
Your payroll good?
Man, hey, man, I got that IOU payments, you know. IOUs, baby.
I'm thinking about coming. I'm thinking about coming to Dallas to live anyway.
What part, man? You know, Dallas big, but it's small too, though.
I wouldn't mind living either in Arlington or Grand Prairie.
Yeah, and that's about the same, Arlington and Grand Prairie. But I think Grand Prairie is growing such a rapid area. It's such a rapid pace.
It is.
Yeah, it's nice, man.
It is. It is. That was the first place I went to when I came to Dallas the very first time.
Yeah. I mean, hey, you get your money back. You get your money back, especially, but you got to jump in this housing market real quickly, man, because the rates are high right now. But man, when you get in, you're gonna be on the money side though, especially in the Arlington and Grand Prairie area.
Yeah, that's what a lady friend told me. She live in Fort Worth.
Yeah. Fort Worth really nice too. It's just so Fort Worth, but the Arlington Grand Prairie, it's looking nice, man, as far as their returns. I appreciate you so much for calling in, Thomas.
All right, and my prediction on Sunday, we will win 34-13.
Whew, I got us 33-16, so you right close with me. I appreciate you, man. That happen, man. We partying, baby. Let's go. That's a good call from him, man. All right, 501, you live.
Hey, Law, how you holding up, man?
Man, holding up well, man. I can't complain.
You can't complain. Hey, but first off, can I give you a shout out, though?
I appreciate you, man. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna give him a good shout out because I call him my beard mentor. I followed your process and the beard looking lovely.
Hey, man, I appreciate that, man. I love to have that feedback, man. Me and my brother, man, we non-ether beings, man. So, you know, we got that melanated, power over here, and you let that sunlight hit it, and man, you already know.
Yes, sir. Okay, I got a couple things, though.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to get your opinion on this. Where are all these points supposed to come from that we supposed to score?
Okay, I think one would be maybe from the defense, a turnover. I look at probably a kickoff return, maybe a punt return. But Detroit allows. I think the Detroit allows 34 points a game.
Yeah, but every team in the NFL play us like we, you know what I'm saying, we the top guns, even if we suck.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? I'm more realistic, and I just pump my brakes on Dak, being that it is this throwing hand, because we do got to remember that he was this great passer, and then he had an injury to his hand.
Which one is it? Is he not a great passer against subpar teams, or he just not a great passer against good teams? Is this a good team or a bad team?
Hold on. He decent though, and I'm just being. He have his games. I ain't taking nothing from him, but we really got to judge. He really just a decent passer.
A decent
passer. He can only do so much. You know what I'm saying? So, but it's more like I used to believe in it.
You used to. What are his flaws? What are his flaws? Break it down to me, man.
His flaw, his inaccuracy.
Inaccuracy. How do you measure accuracy?
He can't. As far as throwing receivers open.
All right, is that completion percentages or passer rate?
Both of them. He had good passer ratings, and see, and this is why I thought Jerry and them from. They should have never got rid of Cooper. But they really crippled our team with that, because we already had a dose of what we looked like without Cooper when he was there.
Let me ask you this. I need to ask you this though. Before we go.
Okay.
Onto this Cooper thing. How do you throw a wide receiver open in cover 4?
You see, and this was the
quarters
good thing
defense
about Cooper. Yeah, this was the good thing about Cooper that a lot of people don't give him credit for. A lot of the passes that Dak was actually throwing to him, they weren't legit passes. Cooper made it look legit because he could beat coverage and he could get open. That's what made Dak look good. Cooper route running is so superior. Hell, you could throw it to him, he gonna make it easy for him. And then you take that person away, y'all see how CD Lamb look.
But here's what I'm saying though. Like jealousy, one's envy says you lead a pass. That's how you throw a wide receiver open. How can you lead a pass on cover 4 defense? How can you lead a pass on quarters defense? I'm trying to understand like football information from people who don't play football.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm trying to say, how would you throw people open in coverage defense?
Like throwing them open, like just say for instance, like on slant passes. That really should be good passes. A lot of his slant passes, the receivers got to fight and come back a lot of the time.
Kind of like ball behind them.
Right. Then the receivers got to jump for the ball, or they got to stop their momentum to get the ball.
So with your argument, with that would be equivalent to the quarterback relations to the wide receiver.
Right.
A great quarterback needs a great wide receiver, because when passer rating when targeted to Amari Cooper, it was 122, right? Last year, that's off the top of my head. So with that being said, the same could be argued that to Aaron Rodgers to Devontae Adams, right? Now that he don't have a Devontae Adams.
You see how he looked, right?
So he looked. So I'm just saying, in the last 4 games, Cooper Rush won more games than Aaron Rodgers. So do that means that Cooper Rush is better than Aaron Rodgers, or it's just the fact that Aaron Rodgers don't have weapons?
No, he don't have weapons, and they crippled Aaron Rodgers when they took him away. See what I'm saying? Aaron Rodgers, he ain't happy with that whole situation down there, Law. You know that.
So it's the same. So it's the same equivalency. It's the same equivalency of Dak Prescott. So I'm just trying to I'm just trying to paint the picture so that everybody can look at the frame and the picture accurately. So a wide receiver, like, we don't know what really Joe Montana looked like without Jerry Rice. We can argue, in fact, this thing all the way up and down.
Yeah.
What Jim Kelly would look like without Andre Reed and Jake Reed. Well, Andre Reed and what's the other wide receiver he had? BB and all of those guys. What Troy Aikman would look like without Michael Irvin. So I think that when we start talking about wide receivers, the relations to wide receivers to quarterback, we can look back down the line and we will see that there's a known pattern, that there's a wide receiver in relation to a quarterback, but a quarterback also in relation to a wide receiver. I love this. I love it.
But it ain't no shade against that. I like him, and I want him to do good. He just got to get better on his accuracy. If he get better on his accuracy, man, them guys will be. I think they don't be expecting the ball to be. And I'm gonna give you a perfect example. When we played, who did we play second? Who we played? The
Bengals. What we said?
The Bengals. When CD Lamb dropped that 50-yard bomb, he wasn't used to getting no pass in stride like that. That messed him up. That was like a cakewalk. He was gonna walk in the end zone with that.
You can't use that. You know, all in training camp, and off season, man. CD Lamb was catching that. He just had jelly on. I'm not finna put CD Lamb. That drop was on him. You know, Cooper Rush hit him between the 8 and 8s, man. He's supposed to catch that. But saying that, look, for to say that, hey man, he used to a ball behind him, so the ball was behind him. If Dak was throwing it, he would have caught it.
Hey, Lord, he wasn't expecting that thing to be so pretty in stride like that.
You know, if Dak was throwing it, the ball behind him, CD would have been like, yeah, man, let me go around here and catch it.
When you see that type of pass, man. No, but on the real tip, though, man, I get a score, man. My end of score going to be like 20-17 because I think they going to show up to try to play hard. Everybody try to play hard.
Everybody give Dallas their best, man. I appreciate you. Man, you got me today, man. You see?
How about them Cowboys, though?
How about them Cowboys?
I love them to death, man.
You made my day, man. Oh, my gosh, man. I done heard it all, man. I think that, man, y'all can stick a fork in me. I'm done. You know, Cooper Rush so accurate, man. The wide receiver don't know how to receive it. I pour upon you a blessing that you can't receive. The cup runneth over. Hey, man. The ball was so accurate. Last game, Gallup was like, man, no, I can't catch it. It's too accurate. Oh, my gosh, man. Oh, my gosh, man. From the 501, you'll forever be known in my mind, man. We got Big Sarge, and then we have the 662, and then we have Coach Marv to end it out. But, man, you guys made my day. I would never forget this moment. I would cherish this for the rest of my life. Oh, my gosh, man. Big Sarge from the 980. You're live.
Law, you got to stop doing this to me. Every time I call in, I got to follow something like this right here. You can't make this stuff up.
He's so accurate. Hit him in between the 8 and 8. He's like, man, what's going on? Let me drop it.
I mean, the foolishness is getting out of control right now. I mean, what are we talking about? I mean, this is ridiculous. I mean, I can't take it. I mean, we got fans who say they love the team, but they don't love the quarterback. Where do they do that at? That's the leader of your team. How can you love the team but not love your quarterback? That makes absolutely zero sense. When we had Cooper Rush, I was pulling for Cooper Rush because he's the quarterback.
Yeah.
At that time of my favorite team.
Yeah.
But this thing is getting out of control. I'm almost sick of listening to these casuals. I'm gonna call it what it is. They got to be casuals because they can't be real ones if they don't support the entire team and everybody that's on it. But to get to my score prediction for the game, I have the same score prediction as somebody else. 31-17 Cowboys.
31-17.
I believe it's going to be a big boost with Dak coming back. The offense is going to get rejuvenated, have a little energy. The defense is already pissed off, so we already know what that's going to be like.
No, realistically now, you got to help me out from the last caller. Because he said he real. So I need to see if you're real. How do you get those 31 points?
Oh, Dak getting ready to come out. It's going to be a balanced approach.
Okay.
We're going to get at least one on either defense or special teams, either because it's going to be a score on defense or special teams, or they're going to set us up in an advantageous position. So I count that as a defensive special teams if we on the positive side of the field with a defensive special team look. But the offense is going to crank up because everybody's going to be excited because Ford's back. And defense, they just pissed off because of what happened at the end of that Eagles game last week. So they're going to be flying all around the ball.
I'm gonna turn the heat up on you a little bit because you about to slide out, but I ain't gonna let you slide so quick, okay?
Okay.
Because the caller, I try to be objective as possible, just like my guy Brandon and Hakeem and the 501. I didn't get his name, but he's from the 501. The last time CeeDee Lamb had 100 yards receiving last year, it was in that Minnesota's game, right? I believe the last time that Dak Prescott threw the ball to CeeDee Lamb and he had 100 yards, we had to go all the way back to the Patriots game. You know what I'm saying? So when Cooper Rush was throwing him the ball, he managed to get 100 yards this season. You know what I'm saying? So the angle is that, from what I was told from people, is that Dak Prescott can't figure it out with CeeDee Lamb. What is going on with that relationship? Is it because Dak Prescott is not accurate enough, or is it because CeeDee Lamb is just not a true number one? Break it down to me like a fraction, man. How can we give CeeDee Lamb 100 yards from Dak Prescott?
Well, the deal is with Dak Prescott, he's always been a quarterback that shares and spreads the ball around.
Okay.
He's never been one that's going to key in on any one particular player.
Okay.
That's why in Dez, that relationship didn't work out. Dez wanted the ball. He wanted to be the focal point, but Dak is a spread the ball around type of guy. He's going to get the ball to the guy that's open and get the ball to the most advantageous place for the team aspect. That's why everybody likes him on the offense. They know they got an opportunity, and that's why they're going to run hard, run their routes hard, because they're going to have that opportunity to get the ball. So with that being said, with Detroit Lions defense being as abysmal as it is currently with run and pass, this is going to be how do you like it type of offensive game, or it should be. Zeke should eat, Pollard should eat, the tight ends, the wide receivers, should even Dak himself, if he want to do a little read option type plays, he should be able to get a few yards. But I don't expect that, because his first game, I don't want Dak to be the focal point except for play action passes. That's what's going to kill the Detroit Lions in this game. If we can establish and get that running game going like I know we should be able to by playing a physical style of offense, it's going to make the whole game plan easier for both the defense as well as our offensive game plan. Just going out there playing physical. As I've said the whole entire time, if you win the trenches, you're going to win the game.
Okay.
As long as we do that, we're going to win. If we win the trenches on both the offensive line, defensive line, then I don't see us losing any games. We didn't win the trenches on that final series against the Eagles, and you see what happened. They ran the ball 11 times down the field when we knew they wasn't going to run to DeMarcus Lawrence side of the field.
Right.
All we had to do was be physical at the point of the attack on the other side, and we saw in the first 3 series where they were running the ball, the only time they went up the middle was with Jalen Hurts.
No
Every
doubt,
other
man.
time it was off to the left side between either the guard or the tackle on the left side of the field that they ran the ball the entire way down the field.
No doubt, Big Sarge. Man, I appreciate you for calling in, fam. You made that question's answer stretched out, man. I appreciate you, though. Thank you, man.
Oh, yeah.
Appreciate you.
All right.
All right, man. We down to the last 2 callers, and I'm going to go run, man, and grab me something to eat before I disappear. All right, I got the 662 and then Coach Marv. We're going to close it out with him. 662, you're live.
What's going on, Law Nation?
Yes, man, everything is good, man. I should name this show Lawathon, because every time I plan it on going live for 30 minutes to an hour, I go literally 4 or 5 hours, man. But what you got for the show, man?
Hey, good content, man. Good content. First time caller, man. I just wanted to call in real quick, man. Keep doing what you're doing, and
just some quick notes on the game. 3 things I want to see in this game, if possible, man. Put in some different linebackers. It's time for a little bit more speed.
Yeah.
It's time for Deron Bland needs to come in and do his thing. And last but not least, man, it's time to unleash Cavante Turpin. I mean, I think he'll be an explosive piece on the offense as well. And my score prediction is I think the defense is pissed off, so I'm going 28-3.
Man, if that happen, man, we hold them rascals to 3 points, man. By the time we score 14, I'm going to go put my jacket on, man. I'm going to go put my winner's jacket on. I appreciate you so much, man. What part of the SIP you from?
Yes, sir. Man, I'm originally from Batesville, Mississippi, and I live in South Haven, so I was
South Haven.
I'm a country boy.
Yeah. South Haven now getting bougie a little bit. You know, they started getting a little bougie over there. You got those that new infrastructure and things going on. Y'all so close to Tennessee now. So yeah, you know how it goes. Yeah, but shout out to you, man.
You already know, Law.
Yes, indeed. Salute, bro. That's a good call from him from Batesville, man. Had some fun down there before. You're listening to the Lawathon. So yeah, I'm gonna have to coin that right there. I'm gonna have to get a hat, a T-shirt, or something like that. A headband to say Lawathon. You know, Lawathon, because it just seems like you guys are my brothers and sisters, and even though we don't agree, we agree. You know, even if you like other teams, sometimes it literally feels like we only had a conversation for like 30 minutes to an hour, right? It don't feel like 3-4 hours. I was looking at, I'm not the type of guy to go back and look at my stats or stat watch my videos, but literally I went back and watched a video that we all did together, and that video did 32,000 views. I was like, wow, on YouTube, 3 hours, y'all looked at me for 3 hours. Eating your oodles and noodles, made you a ham sandwich, and some turkeys and French fries, and got a hot plate, and y'all was sitting there watching me. 32,000 views. I'm sitting there and then I started looking at the other contemporaries. I said, God, dog, man, what y'all doing with yourselves, man? Y'all watching me too? So I love the love, man. I really appreciate y'all, man. I really do, for you guys sitting back watching all of that. And let me read the super chats before I let Coach Marv on. I've seen some people ask that I get a chance to see the super chat. I got 34 minutes ago. Chris214 says, Cowboy fam, don't get stuck into the numbers game. If Dak throws for 400 yards, it's only the Lions. If he throws for 200, Dak suck. Haters will hate regardless. That's Chris214, man. Let me tell y'all something. Christopher is right. We can't win for losing, because they're going to look at this game. They're going to disregard this game. This is not even. Watch. Pay attention. They're going to say that, hey, if we win, I ain't going to speak boldly and say, hey, man, where we win. But if we win, just so we can keep the people in the middle, they would say, man, this is a team that's below 500, what you supposed to do. This is what Dak Prescott flourished out of, right? This is what he do. He beat up on weaker and less competition. And then when we point out the fact that, yeah, but at the same token, in the breath, you guys don't discount another quarterback that plays in that division, right, that beat up on them twice a year. He got vacation time to play them twice a year. And he have the boldness and the arrogance to say, hey, even the next team that we play, the Chicago Bears, that we own said team, right? So even if the Cowboys put up 40 points back-to-back games, people literally will say, hey, man, that's because you played the Lions in Chicago, right? That's just how it goes. That's how it is, man. And if we lose, it'll be a situation Fire and brimstone. The world is crashing. The Cowboys lost to the Lions. Everybody, mama, uncle, cousin. They'll be bringing back people. Herman Moore will have a podcast. Lomas Brown will be all of a sudden talking. Barry Sanders, they'll figure out a way to have him on the interview panel for ESPN, First Take, Third Take, Speak for Yourself. All of the takes, they will bring back Barry Sanders. They will give Megatron a bag of weed and tell him, come on this show, man. Smoke some with us. Let's talk about the Dallas Cowboys and their miseries.
Smoke weed every day.
They would bring him up out of retirement and put him on the Megatron jersey, and they would talk about the Dallas Cowboys losing to the Lions, right? It would be left and right, Cowboys hate news and everything else, right? So this is a must-win game. Every game that the Cowboys play is a must-win game. We can't lose no game. Because every game we lose, they will always say this, the world is crashing. It's the end of times, right? That's just how it goes. All right, so I got the next super chat from my guy, Keith Floyd. He says, how many wide receivers have Dak Prescott got killed? With the question mark. Look at injuries of wide receivers for Brady. He get his wide receivers killed. He smoking weed, you know.
Smoke weed every day.
Shout out to you, man, so much, man. Every game is a must win. Yeah. Appreciate you, Keith Floyd. Shout out to you, Paul, Raul, and Jamie, and Tom. I got one of the greatest coaches of all times, man, on this YouTube circle. We got Coach Mar from the 803. You're live.
Hey, man. Hey, what's going on, Law, man? Listen, man. I was going to start talking about this Dak Prescott hate, but I can't. It's no need. This only needs to focus on what the Cowboys need to do to win, because like you said, there is no win with that situation.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah.
This is the crazy, and I'm gonna say this one thing, that we're gonna move on to my key point for the game. This is the crazy thing about it. It's not the pundits that they're gonna say what they want to say. It's not the full little network or all the haters that say they want to say.
Right.
What upsets me is that you probably done blocked out all the people who is not members because you don't want all the hate to come in there. So the people who are calling in are the Cowboy fans that's believing what the haters are saying.
Yeah.
That's what gets me. They have filtrated so much that they got us believing that about our own.
Mm-hmm.
We should be the ones to say, I have no problem with it. The people who are not Cowboy fans, or people who are out there that you can tell they're Cowboy haters to say all they want. It hurts me when I hear our own Cowboy fans bleed into non-truths and stuff that's not believable, and they can't even see them, and they don't even, there's nothing to back it up, and they believe just because someone out there that don't like the Cowboys said it.
Yeah.
That's what gets me.
Yeah.
But let's get to football, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Time of possession.
TOP, yeah.
Is the key to the rest of our season. With time of possession, our defense will become elite. There has not been a defense that has been elite in the last 20 or 30 years that has stayed on the field as long as our defense has stayed on.
Okay, yeah.
And that is that's what's keeping us out of the elite category.
Yeah.
But if our offense, this is what I ask our offense to do. Our offense is when we talk about 31 points, I think 31 points is easy to get. Because I think the running game is going to be better, because the passing game is going to be better.
Yeah.
And I think our offensive line is showed all year that they can run the football. Mm-hmm. You just have to be creative, and you have to be committed to it. But I believe our offense needs to be strong in a physical presence and allow our defense to set us up for plays times that we could be very aggressive and strike like a cobra.
Man, you're right. Coach, how many drives you get in the quarter?
Hopefully you get 3.
Three.
You've been getting about 1.5, 2.
1.5. So let's talk efficiency then, because I know I can take it there with you, right? All right. So what's 7 times 4, right? That's 28. It's 28, right? So it's 28 points. So if you saying that you want this team to get to 28 to 30 points, that should be the gold standard. Like, can we get a touchdown? Can we get a touchdown a quarter? So and you said 2 or 3 drives, right? You get on lucky, you get 3 drives a quarter, right? So your efficiency level is that you trying to score every one out of every 3 drives.
That's right. You want to be about 33%. You want to be about 30. We want to be about 30%. If you're good, if you're really on point, you're going about 40%.
Right.
But you want to score about 30% of the time. So a great game for you is to get 12 possessions. So if you get 12 possessions, you score 28 points. You score on the 4 out. You right about the 25 to almost 30%, 28%. Okay, that's where you want to be at 30%. With that, you should be able to control the clock.
With that,
you still want to be over 30 minutes with the clock. I tell you like this with this Cowboy team, how they're instructed. If the Cowboys win time possession,
and
they run and they get to about 31, 32 minutes a game, and they consistently stay on that, it'll be hard to beat this team because you're not going to make big plays on this team. And if the other offense is trying to rush because they can't be patient, that plays into the strength of our defense. And our defense will get turnovers, and they will give us opportunities to be able to strike. I've said this one time before, and the great John Madden said this when he was doing this telecast, and I learned it as coaching.
Right.
You control the game with the running game, but points comes in the passing game. So a lot of people think that, well, Coach, when you say points come in the passing game, I mean you want to throw. No, that don't mean you have to throw the ball around. That means you control the game and you strike like a cobra to get the points.
There you go.
So if Dak Prescott, what I would love Dak Prescott is for every 10 passes, I want him to throw a touchdown.
For every 10, okay.
If I can get him on that rate, so then if he throws to 20, 2 touchdowns. If he gives the 40, I want 4 touchdowns. Because if he's controlling the game with the running game and with the 2 backs he's got, when he does have an opportunity to throw, I don't want him to waste throws. I want him to strike because he's going to get that opportunity to strike down the field. I think Cooper Rush did that in one of the games, and he didn't do it well, as I think Dak would do it. But he went deep because he was striking because we was running the ball so well.
Yep.
So he didn't kill passes by throwing the ball, these dinking dunks over the middle to the tight end. He was striking down the field because he said, okay, when we do throw the ball, we're going to try to hit you hard.
Right.
So that's what I want Dak to do.
And the only way you get there, you got to earn that coverage. You got to earn that. And you earn it by establishing the run. And you earn it by letting that play action actually work. Hey, when they threw that ball on first down, right? They threw it out of play action. And the Eagles defense, you can put laughing emojis on their faces because they didn't bid to that play action. Why would we bite down on that? You haven't even earned that. You haven't even established the run. So when you play action out of it, I was watching the DBs, they were just sitting there, waiting for that ball to come up, batted in the air. His buddy said, okay, I'll take this one. So you got to, if they were to establish the run, that play would have been beneficial because the underneath guy would have his first move would have been, I'm coming down because I got to stop this run. And if you don't get that, you're not going to get that.
2 other things, Law. And 2 other things that we need to look at. In the second half of the last game.
Talk to me.
We did most of our stuff I've been saying this for a couple of years. our run game is more efficient when we come from under center.
Yeah.
Check the stats on it. When we run from under center, we are more dominant as a run team. Running from shotgun, we are not. And then we ran that whole drive. We ran most of the drive coming from under center. When you come from under center, you automatically are in play action mode. Your linebackers have to respect the handoff every time that it is a running back in that backfield. If he doesn't even fake it to them, him driving back and that running back is there, he still has to respect that.
Yeah, you got to. You got to.
That opens up a lot. That's why you see a lot of quarterbacks now. Even Lamar Jackson, they moved him under center a lot more this year because they wanted to work the play action pass, and they knew it would work better for him being under center because you have to respect it automatically because when he drops back. So shotgun, and plus we run the ball better from when we run from under center.
Yeah.
Second thing, on the defensive side, yeah, we talked about our defense look bad. Well, I went back and looked at the game, looked at the defense. If a team got to run the ball 39 times to get 139 yards, I think we played well against the run.
I get you there.
What happened was our offense not being efficient enough gave their offense the axe in their hand to keep chopping at the tree.
Chopping at the tree.
That's what you don't want. I don't care how big your tree is. I don't care how bad your defense is. If you allow them the axe to keep chopping at the tree will fall.
Man.
And I'm not saying that our defense you can't because our defense third down because we're still playing well on third down for defense. That means our offense is not efficient enough. I'm not talking about scoring first downs, getting that time of possession so our defense can adjust. And our defense will set us up for times where we can strike. Only thing we got to do is be efficient. We can't go 3 and out. We can't go in these 1-minute drives. We need first downs. And we can keep the axe in our hand, and we'll chop at the tree.
Yeah.
And it'll fall, and our defense will turn people over, and we'll explode on teams. But we have to play smart. And the guys on the sideline cannot put us in bad situations. They have to be better on the sideline.
They do.
For us to win.
You pointed that out. Yes, indeed. Yeah.
We got a quarterback, so let's be happy. This is what I want to see about this team. How they recover from a loss. Do they keep the loss dwindles into this game? Because a lot of teams let a loss feed into this game. We are at a disadvantage here because we're playing a team that's coming off a bye. And we got a short week because we played a Sunday night game.
Yep.
The NFL is a trip, ain't it?
they do exactly what they do. Them jokers set us up, man. Two road games, and then we make this a late game. But this is zero excuse business, and we going look. These guys get paid millions, and they know who the cash cow of the NFL, and everybody eyeballs got to be on the cow. Look, just for example, CMC was traded last night, right? And I was at the barbershop and I was sitting there chilling, and the barber guy, he was like, "Yeah, man, he didn't even know, right? It wasn't even like the topics wasn't even the trade. But if the Cowboys were to, let's say, pick up a backup running back somewhere or a long snapper again, it would have been breaking news. Everybody, mama, uncle, cousin would have knew about it, right? That's just how it goes, man. Right. That's how it goes. Cowboys center of all attention.
You're gonna shut the haters. I want and I tell if I was to tell Dak Prescott anything, or Ezekiel, or Parsons against the Cowboys. Only thing you need to be focused on is doing the right things to win.
Yeah.
I wouldn't worry about who runs this team, how this team is run. You keep all that in the locker room.
Keep it in
there. Because the only thing you're going to be judged about at the end of the season is not by stats. Because I don't care how great your stats is, they'll make them look bad if you lose. I don't care how good your stats is. I don't care how bad your stats is. If you win, they'll make them look good.
Yeah.
So wins or losses is the only thing that you need to worry about. And we need to win by any means necessary. And we just need to drive that home. And this young team needs to be taught how to win. That's Mike McCarthy's job.
No
to
doubt.
teach this young team how to win. Now, that's what and to put them in the best position to be able to be successful.
No doubt, Coach Mark.
That's his job.
Man.
Dracarys.
Appreciate you so much, Coach Marv, man. Thank you for calling in.
All, man.
Thank you, man. Appreciate you.
Have a good one, man.
You as well. That's Coach Marv, man. Y'all put your hands together. Winning is all that matters, man. You right. Because for those who were born in like the mid '90s,
Goodbye.
or the early 2000s, man, we heard it before we had got that one ring with Troy. His first one. We heard it, man. They were literally comparing so this is not nothing new, by the way, of comparing of the quarterbacks, but they were comparing Dan Marino, John Elway. He was the best thing ever, man. Oh my gosh, man. Jim Kelly. But when we got that ring, and they were saying that Troy was just average at best. He just had the vaunted offensive line and the Cowboys defense, and he was the last guy to receive credit because they already knew Emmett. They already loved playmaker, but it was the quarterback that a lot of people didn't give the respect for. And then when he got that Super Bowl, they had to pivot, they had to backpedal out of that, and they had to give praises to it. So what I'm trying to tell y'all is that the quarterback gonna always get the heat. He gonna always get the blame. He always gonna get the fame and everything else. So it is what it is. Coach Marr spoke truth of it, right? But then a lot of people got the Mandela effect. And they would think that, hey, even with Troy, we were throwing 300, 400 yards a game. No, that wasn't the case nor the scenario. But shout out to Troy Aikman. He's one of my greatest quarterbacks of all times in my mind. And shout out what he did for the Cowboys organization. It was the leadership that he brought, and it was the coaching pairing of Jimmy Johnson of never giving him a comfortable bed. Little Mexican, man, appreciate you for the super chat. He said, how do you see the game like film to you see it live film? I'm trying to decipher this again, man. Let me see. How do you see the game like film to you see it live film? Let me see. Let me read it one more time. Let's see if you read it 3 times. How do you see the game like film to you see it live film? All 22? Like how do you see the all 22 film? I don't know, man. I appreciate you, man, for your love, man. Congratulations, man. We need some translations, man. But I appreciate you, man. Thank you, man, for your dedication for the nation, baby. I appreciate you, little Mexican, man. Thank you. Cowboy Nation. It was another point that I wanted to drive on, but yeah, all 22 film. Yeah, you can see the all 22, and you can with the all 22. I think they got the NFL all 22 on NFL.com. You got to pay a package for it. I think it's like $99 a year, and you can get there and you can get the all 22. Some of the beat writers, if you know a writer, they get the all 22 a day before. The day before, if you got the plug, they get the all 22, and pretty much it's a breakdown of all plays, right? Even the punting, the kicking, and it gives you the all 22, right? It's 11 versus 11, and you get a chance to see everything. The only thing is shout out to you, Lisa. Thank you so much for the donation there. I thank you so much, and I see you this weekend. Ain't that right, Lisa? Come on out to Cowboys Experience. But here's the thing. When you have the all 22, there's still an element that leaves a lot of subjective thoughts. For one, we're not hearing the play that's called, right? There may be different responsibilities and duties, right? The coaching staff may have a different principles of how they like to run a certain said defense or a certain said offense. So it's still, in my opinion, it is. It's NFL Plus Premium is $79.99. Yeah, that would be the link to the all NFL 22, but you got to pay for it. I don't have the link right in front of me, so it's still subjective. Right, when we look at film, it's still subjective, it's opinionated, right? But it's from our opinions that we spread out the information for what we think it is, right? So not saying that we are right or wrong when a quarterback goes through his progressions. I can give you the rudiments of, hey, the quarterback reads high to low, right? We know that, right? From top to bottom, right? Strong side to weak side. Understanding the coverages of how you supposed to go through your progressions. That's all we know, right? But we don't know how the offensive coordinator or the quarterback coach is letting them go through their progressions or reads or what have you, or hots or what the audibles are. So that's why you guys come here, so that we can give you guys our thoughts on things, right? And then as far as the defensive situation and scenario. Remember, I got caught up on cover 3 and cover 2. Is it a hybrid look? What's responsibilities actually out of Dayron Bland when he was out there on the field? Who's giving up the wide receiver underneath? Who's supposed to get off? If he playing flat, who's supposed to trail? Are they in the proper trail technique? I don't know the things that they are taught to do from Al Harris. I can only give you guys my thoughts. So, thank everybody that help out with your opinions and thoughts. I try to this season when I present all 22, I try to give it quickly with the thought tracks from my opinions, but I also leave it enough room for you guys to leave your commentary, your thoughts. Any film footages that I have that I post, feel free to grab and repost. Take my audio out of it and repurpose it with your thoughts and your opinions. I'm not that type of guy to get mad if you ever reuse my content, by the way, anybody. And that's just me giving back to the nation. So it's film that's why I try not to put no major logos on my all 22s or film analysis or film observation. I really want the people to win, because I believe if you win, I win. If I win, you win. That type of thing. Little Mexican says, thanks. Laugh out loud. That's what I meant. They're all 22 live, though. Appreciate you, man. Thank you, man. You had me for a second.
Fatality.
All right. We need Dak to be a superstar again. We fans deserve it. Yeah. I need Dak Prescott to play. If we lose, I don't need for him to be the reason why. He is the leader. And from being the leader, you have to stand tall. You can't make careless mistakes. You can't throw interceptions on our side of the field. We got to punch it in, play sound mind, understand that if Dak Prescott's saying that what he learned from watching Cooper Rush is take away that last game, but if you look at the previous games, the first 4 games, take what the defense give you, not forcing it, and understand that your defense is there. Live to fight another day. Don't force it. You don't have to. Play the field. Kick the field goal. Get points. The Cowboys are literally 13-0 when we score first under the Mike McCarthy's administration. Punt the ball away. Trust this defense. And then, like what we was talking about with me and Coach Marv, you get the max of probably 3 drives in a quarter. I'm just trying to score a touchdown out of one out of the 3. 1 out of the 3. All right, so with that being said, man, a marathon talk show for y'all, Lawathon, that's what it is. But I'm going to roll up out of here. I got a taste for some tacos. Maybe I get some of that. Some scrimp tacos. Scrimp. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. Check us out this weekend at Toyota Music Factory between the hours of 12:30 to about 2:30, close to 3 o'clock. And then we'll be live at Lowe's, Texas Live, between the hours of 4 and 6 o'clock tomorrow. I want to see y'all beautiful faces out there. We'll be live, lit, and ready. Me, Gucci Watts, Maybe Boss Cowboy if he comes swing through. Maybe Will Steele if he swing through. Maybe somebody that's in the Cowboys area. Jay Tuck, somebody. Yeah, Big Sarge, salute to you. Justin, appreciate you. You know, we got to be victorious. We can't take nothing for granted. But I come here to tell y'all beautiful people that's watching. When the Lion, not the Lions, but when the Lion, if you get what I'm saying, Parsons is hungry. They don't be polite. The lion don't ask the hippo, the zebra, or zebra, you know, can I have a piece of that ass? No, he goes out there and grab it. He attack it. He's ferocious. He's unapologetic. He takes, even if it's a lame, even if it's maimed, even if it's stumbling. And this is how the Cowboys need to approach this game. They need to take it. They don't need to be polite and say, may I have a leg? May I have an arm? No. He need to go out there and grab it. He need to be hungry. I told people this before, and I'm saying it from the bottom of my heart. I got a PhD. I'm poor, hungry, and determined to make something happen. And that should be the mindset of the Cowboys. Write this down, and I say this all the time. If you can keep your head when all about you are losing theirs and blaming it on you, if you can trust yourself when all men doubt you, but make allowance for their doubting too, if you can wait and not be tired by waiting, or lied about, don't deal in lies, or hate it and yet give way to hating, and yet don't look too good nor talk too wise. If you can think and not make thoughts your aim, if you can meet with triumph and disaster and treat those two imposters just the same, if you can bear to hear the truth you said, spoken by fools to make a trap for fools. Cowboy Nation, understand that we hear that all the time from Stephen A. Smith, the Colin Cowherds of the world, the Skip Say Less. They make a trap for fools all the time. They try to throw things to get us out of the way. But I come here to tell you, write this down all the way. If you want a thing bad enough to go out there and fight for it, to work day and night for it, to give up your time, your peace, and your sleep for it, if all of your desires of it makes you quite mad enough that you don't get tired of it, and it makes you hold all other things tawdry and cheap, if life itself seems empty and useless without it, and all that you scheme and dream is about it, if you will gladly go out there and sweat for it, fret for it, plan for it, or lose all terror of your mind for it, if you will simply, oh, just simply, like that line, go after the thing you want with all of your strength and scarcity, with faith, hope, and confidence and stern pertinacity. If neither cold, poverty, or famish, or fame, or sickness, or body, or brain can turn you away, like Parsons planned when he was sick, from the things that you want. If dogged and grim and besieged and beset it with the help of Almighty, Cowboy Nation, stand tall on this law-a-thon. You will get it, baby. That's been my time. I really thank you all for yours. And remember, you're listening to nothing, and I mean just that, nothing but the best. Go Cowboys. We about. Let's run it up, baby. Salute. Peace. Did I see my guy, Boss Cowboy, in there? Let's go, Boss Cowboy. Y'all check out his page and channel, too. Come on. Paul, appreciate you for the super chat. Let's roll those credits. SJ, Mr. 316. Happy birthday to you. 24/7 Cowboy. Alex in the house. Huge. Paul. How you say that? Diachi? Chris 214, Floyd, Lil Mexican, and Lisa. Come on, run it up this weekend. Come on. Money out of the you know what. Shout out to you. And you. And you, Gina. Come on. Who with Law? Let me see some blue hearts in the chat. Get it.
I mix Nike with designer, I experiment. You just rock
Gina and Gina with the J and the G. Shout out to both of y'all.
Can't trust a soul, I keep a hammer, call it too legit. I've been really in the field, love the rush, I love the feel. Lately I just wanna run it up.
Come on.
Don't need no deals, I make the deal. Have to take it to a meal. Lately I just wanna run it up. Yeah. Kinda check a song. Lately I just wanna run it up. Count that too, count it up. Count it up.
Holly, thank you for the super.
I just be off the dome. I never own no chrome. Too many foes and clothes. I be at home alone. I be in zones alone. I be on road alone. I been really in the field. Love the rush, I love the feel. Lately
I just wanna run it up.
Don't need no deals, I make the deal. I have to take it to a meal. Lately I just wanna run it.
My guy Holly hey, he trying to do a dateline. He says, Law, who's the young lady in the video with the ponytail? With the aviator glasses, huh? She's beautiful. I need a wife. Well, come on out to Cowboys Experience, and we will try to play the matchmaker game. But appreciate you. Appreciate you, Holly, man. Yeah, she's a very, very bright, spirited soul. Real nice lady. Let's go. Let's get on up out of here, and maybe we'll play the Streetlights tomorrow. Come on out. I can't say her name over live airways, but come on out, man. Dak better run it up. Yeah. Come on. Let's go. We up out. Peace.
Take a drink of my cigarette.
If I can find that outro. Here we go. Yeah. Let me put some shades on so I can see better. It's so bright over here. There we go. And you.
Don't let the street lights eat you all alone. You know it's dangerous.
My doggone. Here we go. Here we go, baby.
Don't let the street lights eat you. Can I be your player too?
I follow.
Wherever you go, wherever you
Shout out to you, G. Paul J. Worthy. And another one. Shout out to you, Brandon. He says Dak better run it up. If not, them street lights gonna hit him up. Mary, appreciate you so much, Alvarez. I love reading the comments on my way out. I am awake. Are you? Appreciate you. Player two, I follow. Wherever you go, I'll follow y'all. Come on. Poppy. Ooh. But you know, Mike McCarthy once went 15-1, right? 15-2 don't sound bad. You're right. Fake, fight, finish.
If a paper crane can fly, then forever doesn't feel that
Sean Mack.
so far, so far.
He said, whoa, I took a nap and you're still alive. That's dedication for the nation.
Fly on, fly on, fly on, fly on, fly on.
All right, y'all. Until next time, I'm about.
Dracarys.